playmakers make plays.
So it'll be a 2nd down and 7. Firing it over here, down to the 30-yard line and hustling forward for a couple more. You can see that stick-to-itiveness there from Bryant Williams.
Oh, man, that's just great. You just throw it to your receiver and just let him make plays. He ran a 5-yard hitch. We called it yak, yards at the
yak.
Oh, absolutely love it. And that's exactly what you want. I mean, it's just so easy. They're playing a cover 3 shell. They're playing thirds on the outside. You just throw it to your receiver and let him make plays.
4 receivers in the game now for TSU. Ellis able to complete that one for a couple of yards. Again to Bryant Williams. Just a couple catches in last week's game for 23 yards, but it's one of those things, you keep getting positive yards, you keep chipping them off.
Oh, I mean, he's playing with a lot of confidence right now. Just look at his body language in the pocket, and that's exactly what you want in the quarterback. You know, now they're in 11 personnel, 1 back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers. They're mixing up the formations, and they're keeping the defense off balance.
And that's exactly what Coach Partridge wants to do, and right there, EIU not fooled and making the play, sprinting in, was Joel Barrows.
Oh, man, this is a physical play. Watch, he just reads. He sit there, bam, right there. And you don't want to have that guy doing it as your linebacker. So you got to understand where the pressure is coming from. If I see that and I'm a quarterback and I see that Barrows is coming, I got to make a situation where I got to check out and make sure I can pick up the pressure.
Barrows last week with a tackle, had a couple quarterback hurries. He's a fifth-year senior, so lots of experience for him. Brinson in motion as it's a 3rd down and 9. Ellis under some pressure, and he's just going to throw that away. And that is a move that, you know, we see Ellis in a lot, and sometimes he's not quick enough to throw it away and gets himself in trouble. There he was.
See, that's a key play. I mean, everybody said, well, why don't he throw it downfield? Because there's nothing open downfield. And we talk about the maturation of a quarterback. See, just watch him right. He's looking. There's nothing there. He scrambles. Last year, he would have tried to throw it and put it in a place to where it's an interception. Now he throws it away, and now you put yourself in a position to where you can make a field goal. Great job. Even though you didn't get the 7, you still pick up 3 points with this field goal.
So here's James Lowry on to kick. 1 of 2 last week, 6 of 10 this season. We'll see if he's able to split the uprights here. And that is no good.
Well, geez, I look good from up here. Yeah, that's kind of what we talked about last week. I mean, you have to get a fast start. Yeah, you had some good positive plays, but you got to capitalize on it.
I was just saying, you weren't able to.
You got to capitalize. You can't do that, especially with a Panthers team that's coming in 1-5. Now they might have the momentum if they go get 7 or 3 points.
So we'll see how the TSU defense does as they come rolling out here. And Pierce Holly, the quarterback for EIU, is a guy to keep an eye on. He's a graduate player, came in from Georgetown, so a smart guy. 27 of 42 last week. So
that's a lot.
They're not afraid to use him as he racked up 366 yards and a pair of touchdowns a week ago. And here, he hands it off. Still churning there is MJ Flowers.
He's a good-looking back. I watched him a little bit on film. I mean, 6'1", 220. And then this is getting back to the quarterback. I mean, he's just a big physical guy. 6'3", 225. And on the season, he's completed 115 and 199. But here's the kicker. He's got 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. That's the difference right there.
Yeah, you talk about MJ Flowers. 6'1", 220 pounds, the redshirt sophomore back.
Big physical dude.
The guy that Brandon Fisher, the defensive coordinator for TSU, was talking about in a major way. And here, Cooper Willman able to haul that in. And they, meaning EIU, is thin at receiver. Terrace Gibson is out. He has a knee issue. Injured it on a kickoff last week. Darius Smith also out. Eli Mirza is out with a concussion.
Me and you might have to go play wide receiver.
Yeah.
I can get the old please going.
Mirza is a huge piece to their puzzle.
Yes.
That's a guy that a few days ago, Eddie George and Brandon Fisher were both talking about. Here's another completion for Holly. And without Mirza, you're going to have some of these other guys step up. And here in these last couple, they've been able to do just that.
Yeah, just watching. I mean, just look at what he does. He just reads it. It's cover 3, and he just throws it to the receiver, let him spin and make a play. So, I mean, if you look at the defense, you know what Coach Brandon Fisher was doing. He tried to disguise. He was in the cover 4, and he rotated, went to cover 3, and Holly saw it and threw it to your wide receiver. Then now we had a situation with your back. Flowers, I mean, he's just staying in front of the chains. I mean, he averages 4.2 yards per catch. He has 426 yards coming into this game. So, you know, they got to figure out a way to stop him. You can stand in front of the chains.
EIU, we mentioned, sitting at 1-5. TSU 4-2. So here, Holly, quick snap, is able to find his guy, fresh set and more, down to almost the 30-yard line.
I think Brandon Fisher is going to have to start putting pressure on his wide receivers. I mean, all they're doing is playing 7-on-7. I say 7-on-7. They're just playing pitch and catch, Holly and the receivers. And just watch it. He just gets the ball. He doesn't even go through his read. He sees cover 3, catches it. The receiver spins, and he's just standing in front of the chains. And I think Brandon Fisher's got to come up and put pressure on the receivers. And that's what they're doing now, because those are just, pitch and catch all day long.
See if the four-man rush can get to Holly. As here, snap a little bit high, but he's able to take it. Tries to, again, go toward Willman. But that's one of the things, in talking with Coach Fisher earlier this week, he said one of the things that makes Holly so good is he can check off so quickly. And if the deep ball's not there,
yep,
he's not afraid to go to MJ Flowers. Look, MJ Flowers had 11 catches a week ago, 72 yards, not to mention what he did on the ground. So it's a situation where he's confident enough in his ability and in his players to be able to do that. What's interesting is to see how he's able to do that with the new pieces that he has in there this week under some pressure, and almost, again, able to find Willman, but not able quite to complete it there.
Yeah, just a great job by your corner. I mean, that's what you want in your corner. I mean, you see Brandon Fisher, the defensive coordinator, putting a little more pressure, on his wide receivers. Get up, jam them at the line of scrimmage, get the timing off, and get out of that cover 3 and come up and challenge the receiver. That's what we saw in these last 2 plays.
Villiers was there for TSU, so it'll be a 3rd down and 10 with the ball at the 33. Scoreless game just underway here in the first, as Holly has a little bit of time, but it's going to be knotted away. Fired up there. Cameron Blaylock, 6'2", 315, the redshirt junior, fired up and excited.
He's a big man. I mean, we always talk about, your defensive guy putting their hands up, and that's what you want to do, because what happens, the quarterback's throwing it to a window, you put your hands up, bam, there it is, and that's exactly what you want with a defensive guy. So now when the quarterback tries to do that the next time, he's going to be a little gunshot because the paws are up hitting the ball every single time.
So now EIU is going to try a field goal. Julian Patino is in to try to see if he can make things happen for the Panthers. See if they can pounce as his kick is up, and that is going to be wide. So no score, 8:18 to play in the first. You're watching the Big South OVC on ESPN Plus. homecoming here in Nashville for TSU. Lots of exciting. You hear the Aristocrata bands. Nice buzz about the stadium. You were at the tailgates earlier. You were at the parade earlier. You were taking it all in.
Oh, man, it was a good time. I watched the floats come down. I watched a lot of people and just a lot of things going on. So much fun.
I was preparing for the game. You were out enjoying your time. I get it.
They're going to come up. Ooh, Blair's coming.
And now the handoff. Nothing going there. As again, that was C.J. Evans.
But see, when we talk about, a quarterback understanding what's going on, there's a cowboy blitz. When I say a cowboy blitz, that means they're blitzing from the boundary. When they're blitzing from the boundary, this is where your quarterback has to understand where the pressure is coming from. Not just a quarterback. He's got to check that out and say, I'm going to the left as opposed to the right when you have a cowboy blitz. So those are the things that Ellis has to get better on.
So it'll be a 2nd down and 10. Here, Ellis going to keep it himself as he throws it across the middle into a lot of traffic. He's lucky there.
Yeah, he is lucky. Those big paws of that defense, and if the defense didn't get that, there was a touchdown right here. Just kind of watch out on the replay. If the defense guy doesn't get his hands up and doesn't get this ball down, it is a touchdown to Karate Brinson. So I think the offensive line needs to get into their chest in order to keep those hands down so the quarterback can throw it into a window.
And when you look at who was able to break that up, that was Drakeford, who's 6'4", 210. So
he's a
tall
big
dude.
Man. He's a big man. I bet you can't touch the net.
Right. But they almost had that explosive. Now here's Ellis. Again, now he's dancing around under a little bit of pressure, but has some time. But he'll throw it away, and they're asking for the flag. EIU saying nope.
No, that's just great defense. They just had a cover 2 shell, and, they didn't get beat deep, and that's just a great job by the defense. And I think in a situation like that, that was kind of a throwaway ball because he threw it to where only the receiver can try to catch the football.
So it'll bring up a 4th down and 10, and it'll bring on the punting unit for TSU. Back toward the 20 and asking for it at the 15 is Cooper Willman, and that is where the Panthers will begin their offense when we continue from the Music City. Goose eggs for the Tigers and Panthers here in the first.
CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
He shoots, and he scores!
If you want to make the most of your vacation, there's no better place than the Bluegrass State. Kentucky's 44 state parks offer abundant places to play and diverse accommodations to stay. Take a hike, float your boat, or bike the trails. Pitch a tent under the stars or settle into a lakefront lodge. Tee up for 18 holes. Then enjoy a signature meal. Plan your trip at parks.ky.gov.
Back here in Nashville at Nissan Stadium, home of the Tennessee Titans today, home of Tennessee State.
Oh, yeah.
Tigers.
You ready for
Roar
the
City.
Tomorrow the Titans are playing the Colts here, and actually me and my wife are going to be at the game, so let's see what those guys do.
You got club level seats? You got
Heck
box
to the
seats?
no, I
You
got
gonna
to
be in
pay.
a suite? What are we doing?
No. I'm just coming and
GA?
going to the suites and visit some of the people.
I like it.
Yes, sir.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Man in motion. Now the handoff is going to go up the middle for Flowers, and he's churning, still churning,
Man, he's still going.
and able to get a few extra yards as he's able to make that happen. And let's take a look at the series history, which is presented by ServPro, the official restoration services partner of the OVC. 28 all-time meetings. And EIU leads the series with a record of 16-11. However, TSU has won 3 of the last 4.
Okay.
But look at last year. Look at what MJ Flowers did.
Wow.
201 yards,
That's
4
right.
touchdowns.
You got to slow him down. Great player.
And carried the ball 31 times.
That's a lot of mojo.
So far, scoreless. 6:45 to play in the first. Here's Holly staying in the pocket now. Going.
Oh, good catch.
That was
Good catch.
Cooper Willman. So Willman able to catch it at
Yeah,
midfield.
one saying yes and one saying no.
Right.
Man.
From up here, from me, it looked like he did not make it, but let's
You
take
gotta
another
get one
gander.
foot in. And it's
One
no,
foot,
it's out of bounds. I think the right foot hit first. One ref says yes and one says no, but as of looking at the video, I think his left foot came down before the right. So once they watch the review, I think they might just be overturned. It's going to be first down, Panthers.
Willman trying to sell it, and why not, right?
Heck yeah, we receivers, man. That's what we do. That's what we do.
So we'll take another gander at it.
Yeah, just watch it. So now watch, when he catches the ball at the highest point, he jumps. Now watch where the first foot comes down. It is the
Let's see.
left foot. It's good.
You think it was the left?
Because-
I don't
yeah.
know. I was thinking right.
It's
We
close
might have
now.
to ask the truck to re-rack again. All right,
See,
here we go.
watch
Here we
real
go. Let's
closely.
take a look.
Don't look at the right foot. Look at the left foot. Even though the right foot is out of bounds, see, it's still up in the air. And look at your left. He's
Okay,
in.
yeah, left. You're
He's
right.
left
All
foot,
right.
yeah.
What can I say? You're the receiver.
No, hey, if it was me, I'm calling all that. I'm a receiver. We got to have that.
Yeah.
That's just a great play. I mean, great concentration by your wide receiver. I mean, big physical guy. And, the one thing I love about a receiver, he didn't catch it with his body and let the ball come down to him. A receiver that is great catches it at the highest point, and we just saw it with the receiver right there.
Well, and he's an experienced guy, 6'1", 205 pounds. He's a senior from Illinois. So we'll see what they're going to go with. So, yeah, it looks like
Yeah, he's clapping.
it will be good. Looks like it will be overturned and will be a complete pass. And also, you got to credit the quarterback, Pierce Holly, with staying in the pocket.
Oh,
He didn't
yeah.
have a ton of time, had a little bit of time, but didn't get frazzled.
Yeah, and he threw where only the wide receiver can do it. But I love the concept of the route. We call it a post wheel. You will have your number one wide receiver running the post, and you have your receiver coming in motion, and he's running the wheel. So it puts pressure on the corner because he has to make a decision. Do I take the post or do I take the wheel? And he came off late, and he wasn't in time enough to get to the wheel route.
So it'll be a 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line. Panthers, Tigers, scoreless. Just north of 6.5 to play in the first. Quickly slinging it out to who else but Willman. Pickup of a few yards before he goes out of bounds. They
Man.
keep going to the well.
They do. I mean, if you're playing off coverage like that, I'm going to take it all day. But here's what I love about this. Watch the blocking of the receiver. And I know we look at the guy who catches the ball, but look at the receiver. Wow, blocking. That's what you love. I had a coach, Les Stegel, when I played with the Tennessee Titans. He said this. He said, if you don't block, you don't play. And you can just see that it happened on that actual play.
That's why that guy's playing.
I know, absolutely. I mean, good block, good physical block, man. You got me a little riled up here.
I like it.
Physical.
You see Willman toward the bottom part of your screen. Handoff here, not much going. But you do see Flowers not giving up on the play.
Yeah, I mean, and Flowers just
He has a determination. Look at his eyes.
He does. I mean, he may not be big, but he's big on the field. And we talk about an impact player. He's one of those impact players that's on the Panthers. So I guarantee you that this defensive line and these linebackers got to be aware of Flowers because he is dangerous.
Flowers has 13 yards so far in the game, averaging 4.5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Still in the backfield here with Holly, which we'll see most of the game. And the handoff goes to Flowers. Not much going there. Didn't fool anyone for TSU as Flowers falls down.
Yeah, just a great job by your defense. If you look at what the Panthers are running, they run a little outside zone. And when you run outside zone, your linemen are running to a gaps. And just watch the situation, the penetration of your linebackers. Boom, there it is. So you beat the offensive line to the gap to take away those gaps. And that's exactly what you want against your defense. Great job, great pursuit. And there's 6 and 7 hats to the ball.
Kimbrough in there on it, 6'1", 270-pound nose, fifth-year senior.
Big man, 6'2", 315.
Other big fella, yeah. Transferred in from Memphis. This one back toward the 10-yard line. That'll go out of the back of the end zone. So we'll take a timeout. 4:22 to work with in the first. Still scoreless between Eastern Illinois and Tennessee State. Back here at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. There you see Tiger Man. Now, just before that shot, he was really breaking it down. He was dancing, feeling the beat, but then he stopped. He's had enough.
He has rhythm like you.
Indeed. Let's take a look to the keys to the game, which are brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security. Designated drivers are the real MVP. If you've been driving or drinking, pass your keys to a sober friend because fans don't let friends drive drunk. As that is incomplete. Now let's take a look at those keys to the game.
Here's the keys to the game. Number one, the Tigers had to have a fast start. They started the last two games, they started slow. And the thing about it is it just follows an offense, defense, and special teams execute early. They have to execute. If you look at what's happening right there, they're not executing right now, and they have two or three attempts on field goals. And then they need to put pressure in the pocket. And I think that's what we're seeing right here.
Indeed, so it'll be a 2nd down and 10. Here's Ellis, asks for it. Keeping himself, and not much going. By the way, it's Tevin Carter, who's checked into the game there under center. We saw him last week rush in a couple of scores. Carried the ball 3 times, 2 touchdowns a week ago. Faked it, held it himself.
Yeah, just a big physical, quarterback. And
6'3", 240.
He's big. And when you run that zone read stuff, I mean, you want to have a big quarterback because you want to run the football. And if the read is there for you to run the football, you want to have a big physical quarterback like that.
Now Ellis has checked back into the game for TSU. And nothing going there.
It's just right now they look out of sync a little bit. I mean, if you look at the quarterback and wide receiver, this distribution right here, I mean, you got a receiver that's got to come back to the football. It's football one-on-one. If I'm a wide receiver and I got to find the sticks, when I say find the sticks, I mean I'm getting to the sticks to get the first down. Number one, you're short. Number two, you drop the ball. Number three, you got to come back to the ball. And those are the things that we're missing today because they're just not executing kind of one of the keys that we talked about.
So it'll be a 4th down and 7. Obviously, the punting unit coming on for TSU. Lowry puts this one up, and it's going to take the bounce there. And let's take a look at the keys for EIU.
Here are the keys for EIU. It's MJ Flowers. We talked about him. We just watched him as a running back. He's a big physical guy. He's going to stay in front of the chains, and I think that the Tigers had to make sure they bottle him up. And in the situation with Swarm, with Drayden Ellis, the thing that they have to do is they have to get to Ellis because Ellis is a quarterback. Sometimes he will make mistakes. So you better believe that the Panthers are going to swarm on Ellis.
And that's why we've seen this game scoreless so far with 3:27 to play here in the first. Homecoming for TSU. Here's Holly, has some time. Not much. Now he's scrambling. Still looking down the field. He's going to keep it himself out to about the 45-yard line.
Penalty.
Now he's fired up.
Yeah.
Holly going to have some words.
There's a penalty. See, here's the things that you don't want to do. I mean, you have a situation to where your quarterback makes a big play. Now you're going to add 15 yards on top of that because you're hitting after the play. And you have a team that's 1-5. You don't want to give them any life. You have a situation where you had a quarterback. He looks, he runs. He gets the first down. He's going out of bounds. Let him go out of bounds. Now here comes a late hit. Bam. You just don't want to do that. You don't want to give any life to a team that's struggling. That's 1-5.
And that's Jalen McClendon, who's a redshirt junior. So he's had experience.
Yeah, you got experience. You just got to know the situation. I mean, your offense is not playing well. You got a struggling team that's 1-5 and terrible in the OVC right now. So don't give them any life. Don't give them any oxygen. Don't let them breathe. This is where you got to be that great team where you got to choke teams out.
So McClendon called for it, 15 yards. And yeah, penalties have been a thorn in the side of TSU this season, especially over the last few games. As you see head coach Eddie George patrolling the sidelines for TSU. In front of him, there's to the left of your screen, there's Brandon Fisher, the defensive coordinator, wearing the red.
Yeah. And when you talk about some of the things that Coach George talks about, you got to be a disciplined football team, and you got to make sure you keep your emotions intact.
There's Holly. This time he's going to hand it off, and nothing going there for Flowers. Right there sniffing that out. Number 12, that's Sanders Ellis, a true freshman. He's one of the guys they really look at as a leader on this team.
Oh, man, I love that kid. And he's 6'2", 225. He has 1 sack right now and 21 tackles.
Local guy.
Local guy. I mean, but the reason why I love the guy, I love his last name. I mean, is it his first name, Sanders Ellis? I think it's his last name.
First name
Sanders. So,
Sanders
that's a lot of history. You got Deion Sanders, you got Chris Sanders, you got,
I
all
see
those
what you're
guys.
doing there.
Absolutely love that guy.
All right. Putting your name right up there with Neon Deion.
I wish I could.
And Sanders Ellis.
Yep.
Now here's Holly as he's able to dump it off, and a gain of a few more yards. That's Alex Genever.
Yeah. But you know what's so funny? Even though you have a lot of different receivers, a lot of tight ends that you don't know. They're just making the game easy for your quarterback and wide receivers. They're just doing simple passes. How many balls have we seen thrown down the field? Maybe one, and that was on the wheel route. He's just throwing out routes. He's throwing hitches. He's just keeping staying in front of the chains.
And another handoff. That's going to be good for a fresh set. Right up the gut.
Man, I love Flowers. Who does he remind? He reminds me of, I don't know if you remember a guy who used to live with the Tennessee Titans named Rodney Thomas. His build is like Rodney Thomas. He played behind Eddie George, and he's just a physical, powerful guy. Look at his legs and look at his body structure. He's going to run through your lips.
This time, Holly again giving it to Flowers. Able to make a move. Nice ankles there for him. And, that's another thing good running backs have is the ankle ability to go one way, just move those ankles, sway back the other. And that was good for another couple yards.
Yeah, just watch him. Look at his body move. Look at the vision. Look at the cut. That's what you want as a running back. And then he keeps his foot moving. Here's that you're a great running back is when the secondary doesn't want to tackle you.
Right.
They said, I want no parts of this. And that's exactly what we saw.
as there Flowers got the ball again. He's a workhorse.
Yes, he is. I mean, he's a physical, punishing runner. And here's what I love about him also. He's looking to run through your face. He's not trying to run out of bounds, and that's what you love with a running back. I'm not saying he's the Eddie George type, because when I played again with Eddie George is not looking to go out of bounds. He's looking to run through your face, and that's exactly what Flowers is doing.
2nd and 10 at the 14.
Fumble.
This time it's loose, and they are going to fall on it. That's one of the EIU players.
Ooh.
That was another key, was creating turnovers. I know a lot of coaches say that, but that's not been something that's been a huge strong suit for TSU. And here they almost had one.
Yeah, they almost had one. And the one thing I love about, the technique of the defender is he doesn't just tackle the quarterback, he's swiping. And when I say swiping, he's trying to create turnovers, exactly what we're talking about.
So it'll be a third down and 19 from the 23. Holly taking some time. Now he's going to go to the air. And again, he's going to find his guy Willman. We haven't called his name in a few minutes, but back to him.
Man, just a good wide receiver, 6'1", 205, coming in with 3 TDs. And, watch the route that he runs. We always talk about a wide receiver sinking his hips and, getting a guy out of his spot, and that's exactly what he has. And the one thing I love about him, he comes back to the football, makes a move, and tries to get some first down. But great job by your defense by stopping him.
And that was Jalen McClendon there in on the tackle, and this will bring the end of the first quarter. It's EIU, TSU, scoreless, and the Tigers' homecoming.
Or come see us in person at the TSU Gentry Center box office at 3645 Dr. Walter S. Davis Boulevard.
Homecoming crowd here in Nashville for TSU. They're all fired up. Hey, first take from ESPN.
I know,
From our
Shannon
brethren,
Sharp.
Stephen A's, Shannon Sharp,
Sharp's
Cam
that dude,
Newton, all
man.
up in here yesterday. What's today, Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Friday, yeah. They were over on campus on Friday, right before the fish fry.
No
So here
good.
the kick is up, and that is good.
I can't see.
So able to net the field goal, and EIU able to break through 3-0 early in the second.
When you're the leader, disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen?
Fire it up, Randy.
By being prepared for anything. Whatever comes your way, there's a pro for that.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened. Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
Imagine if you had 100 years to dedicate yourself to fun and wonder. That's exactly what Kentucky State Parks is celebrating this year. 100 years of unmatched scenery and history, with guided hikes and acclaimed golf, plus all kinds of cozy lodging and accommodations. Dedicate your weekends to creating memories that last a lifetime at parks.ky.gov.
Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. TicketSmarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think TicketSmarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed at TicketSmarter.com.
Maybe a future TSU Tiger.
Yes. She looks adorable. Great cheerleader. Hey, everything.
Feeling the beat, nice smiles. Of course, the smiles may be a little bit brighter if TSU were on the 3-zip lead side, but EIU has the lead here, finally breaking through.
You know, just looking with the Tigers, they need a little bit of rhythm. I mean, if you look at on the first drive, they were driving. Then all of a sudden you get behind the chains. We got to figure out a way to put together an 11-play drive, take 5 minutes off the clock, and get some momentum and some rhythm going.
Evans fielding it at the 1-yard line, brings it out to the 20, still going to the 30, on his feet to the 40, to about the 45-yard line before he's tackled and almost was able to break that one free.
Yeah, Mitch, it's just a great return. And when you talk about a guy that's electric, and that's Evans, because one thing that he does, especially on this return, he just makes one cut and go, and that's what you love for your returner to do.
So he's able to come out and give TSU pretty good field position. Now we'll see if TSU can capitalize on said field position.
They have to capitalize. I mean, you got great field position, get some rhythm. You know, get the running game going. I mean, you got Evans that has 3 for 21. You got, Ellis that's 1 for 3. You got Jaden McGill that has 0 yards. They got to get this run game going, get the outside zone, inside zone, and get some momentum and getting this Tiger back in the game.
So here is the handoff.
There it is.
There across midfield, gain there of a couple of yards. That's going to be Jaden McGill, who is able to get a nice pickup there for TSU and a fresh set. Let's take a look at our coaches' profiles presented by Kentucky Tourism. Plan your visit to the Bluegrass State at KentuckyTourism.com. There you just saw Eddie George. And they're going to whistle that dead. Little flag option. Officials huddling. And let's see what they say.
Defense.
Number number 6. Cause the reaction by the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So there's Eddie, 4th season leading TSU, of course, as a player. Almost a decade in the NFL and a 2-time Hall of Famer. College Football Hall of Fame in 2011 and the Philly Sports Hall of Fame in 2013. Like to see his team get on the board here as Ellis is going to hand it off, and the ground attack, there's going to be a gain of a couple more yards. That's again McGill. So Evans was used the first couple of possessions. Now they're going with Jaden McGill, the 6', 205-pound junior out of Chicago. And he's a guy that can get the hard, tough yards. They look at him as the hammer, they call him.
Yeah, we always talk about a team being physical, and it starts with the running game. And you got McGill, who's a big physical pounder. They want to run through your face. That's how you kind of get a little bit of rhythm going, and that's how you get things going when you have a powerful running game like they do with the Tigers.
Ellis standing next to Evans. Ellis going to keep it himself. Threw that one low. EIU was thinking it was a fumble.
No, but what it is, I know a lot of people are complaining, why did he throw it at the feet? That was a screen now.
Correct.
Because if he throws it, there's somebody in that window to pick him up. So that's a smart play. See, this is what we got to understand.
That's the development.
That's the development. See, a lot of people, you hear people screaming, why is he throwing it at his feet? Because you live another down. You want to make sure that you protect the football. You can't protect the football when you're trying to throw it to a screen when the guy's sitting in that window.
And that's something both Eddie George and offensive coordinator Travis Partridge have talked about Ellis getting better at as Evans takes the ball here at a gain of a couple of yards.
Yeah.
Should have the first down and does.
I love Evans. I mean, he's not a big dude at what he's 5'8", 180 pounds, but here's the thing I love about him. He's averaging 4 yards per run. And look at the physicalness. Even though a linebacker tried to hit him in his face and run through him, Evans said, guess what? I may be 180, but I got a little size on me. Let's do this thing. That's what you love about this running game. But look at the slew of running backs that they have. We haven't heard anything from Rouse yet, but McGill, Evans, and Gant, they're doing some things.
Here, Ellis going to keep it himself as he rolls over toward the left side. He's going to be pushed out of bounds after a gain of a few yards. So Ellis there using his legs. Which he's carried the ball 37 times.
That's a lot.
this season.
Yeah.
And, he has the ability to do so. He has quick feet. And that's what can make him a dual threat.
But see, you just said it, a dual threat. I mean, when the play breaks down, and he's one of those guys that can extend the play, and that's what you want as a quarterback.
Here's Ellis. Has a little bit of time, not much, as he goes up high and is able to find his man. That's Jason Hoth, the sophomore tight end. Nice catch there for Hoth, using his 6'2", 235-pound frame to haul it in.
Yeah, this is what I love about him. I mean, you talk about a tight end catching at the highest point. That's what you want to do. And when you have a big physical guy like that can make plays like that, you throw it to where only the tight end can do, and that's exactly what Ellis did. Great catch, great play, great rhythm.
And that's only Hoth's 5th catch of the season.
Yeah.
So he hasn't been used a ton, but a nice big catch for him there, as Ellis will keep it himself and slide forward for a few yards. Didn't maybe tuck the ball like the coaches might like to see. He kind of held it out there.
Yeah, if you want to make a head coach mad or your position coach mad, don't do that. I mean, if you're carrying it like Deion Sanders, everybody can't do that. But you want to protect the football, because you got to understand something. When you're carrying a football like that, you got so many guys that are swiping at the ball. So just like what you said, great observation. Tuck that thing away and let's live another down.
So it is 2nd and 9. Chance for TSU to push it in here as Ellis drops back, has a little bit of time, throws it up high and away. Didn't have anything going there. Was looking for Jalal Dean, the senior transfer from Tennessee Tech.
He just couldn't step up in the pocket. When you have a situation to where, they're blitzing the A-gap, and the A-gap is between the center and the guard, and you can't step up and make the throw, the ball's going to sail because you can't step up and make a throw.
Jaron Hacha is the man down for EIU. Hacha, 5'11", 310 pounds, a senior.
He's a big man.
13 tackles this season, as he's discussing matters with his coaches. TSU will be on the road next week, heading up to Washington, D.C. to take on Howard.
Ooh, that's going to be
take
big.
on the Bison.
Bisons.
Up there at Green Stadium. They're on the campus of Howard
Have you
University.
been to that stadium? Is it pretty nice?
It's all right. It's fine. Yeah, it's
I've never
nice.
been
It's tucked away on campus.
there. Okay.
Right there behind Byrd Gymnasium, just off Georgia Avenue. Nice spot. As it is nice there, we're able to see Hocha come off under his own power. It's like he's moving his right hand
He's got a
a
stinger.
little bit.
He's got what happens is when you get a sting in your shoulder, everything feels like it's going numb. That's I remember that.
Can see him winching in pain there as he is off. So now, 3rd and goal from the 9. Tigers again try to punch it in. Ellis making some moves. Ellis, now he's going to hand it off, pushing forward down to the 5 and inside down to about the 4 before being brought down there is Jaden McGill.
Yeah, and you just know what the defensive coordinator for the Panthers, his name is Colin Greer, and the one thing he did is he switched the front, on Ellis and kind of changed it up. They were in an even front, and then they changed it to an Okie front. And when you have a situation like that, that's why the running lane was not there. So now you have a situation where you're going for a 4th down and try to get 7 as opposed to 3.
McGill still in the backfield for Ellis. Draylen has a little bit of time. He's dancing, looking, and finds his man wide open. That's Karate Brinson, and the Tigers are on the board.
Man, just a great job by your quarterback. And just watching the maturation of Ellis, he lets the play develop. All it is Karate Brinson runs a slant, and he just keeps coming. It wasn't there in the first window. He goes to the second window, and then he throws it to the back of the end zone. Let's look at it. He looks at the first read, second read's not there, comes back to Karate Brinson, back in the end zone, touchdown, tiptoe, TD for the Tigers.
And he had awareness. Glanced down, made sure he was in.
I'm going to start calling you coach, man. I mean, awareness. And that's what you want as a receiver. That's what you want as a quarterback. Now we just saw the maturation of an offense. They struggled the first 3 series, and they kept going.
Able to bounce it back, get the extra point. So it is a 7-3 lead for TSU here at homecoming. Nice crowd on hand here for homecoming in Nashville for TSU as the Tigers have gotten on the board. Touchdown and have the 7-3 lead on EIU. Eddie George and crew looking for another dub. James Lowry will be kicking things off for the Tigers.
You know, Dan, you know what I love about what I'm seeing with this Tigers team? If you look at last year, you know, a lot of finger pointing would have started, but now you got guys that just busting their tail and coming back and trying to make plays, and that's what we saw in that series.
Out to about the 18-yard line, pushing across the 20. That's going to be Jay Pearson before he comes down, and that's where the EIU offense will take over. And let's take a look at the EIU head coach, which is Chris Wilkerson, 26th head coach in program history. And there you see, third season at the helm, defensive lineman, so the first alum to be in charge of the program. It's always nice to see an alum come back, understand the true culture of a program, and that's what he has brought. Coach's resume presented by Kentucky Tourism. Visit the Bluegrass States at KentuckyTourism.com. So it'll be a 1st and 10 from the ball on the 22-yard line. Here's Holly, barks it out and is able to pass it off to Gnevor as he stays on his feet to about the 35-yard line before he's brought down.
Yeah, I mean, just a quick route to your wide receiver or tight end. I mean, he's just a big physical guy. And what he does, he just catches the football. And here's what I love about him. He's going to try to stiff fire and try to run through your face. I love saying that because, you know, when you have a tight end that doesn't want to get tackled and he's going to run through your face, that's exactly what you want to love when you catch the football. Just a physical, punishing run.
Gnevor hasn't been used as far as he hasn't had a catch coming into this evening's game. They don't use the tight ends a ton in their packages, but due to the thinness at receiver in this game, that is probably something that they have had to incorporate because of that. Not much going there on the run.
Yeah, when you talk about using a tight end, I mean, you can still get your receivers out there. You can go like 11 personnel, you know, 1 back, 2 tights, and 3 wide receivers, or 2 wide receivers. So you still can get, you know, your tight end and also get your wide receivers in there. It's just a personnel that you use.
So loss of 1. It'll be a 2nd down and 11 from the 36. Holly takes a long glance over to the sidelines. A couple receivers to the top of your screen, 1 to the bottom of your screen. 4-point lead for the Tigers. Holly under some pressure. Now he's going to keep it himself, looking to dump it off. Instead, he's going to be brought down.
And I just love Holly. I mean, he's a tough kid. I mean, just watching him scramble, just watching him, just looking at his body language right here. I mean, he's one of those guys that fights. See, look what he does. He looks down the field. There's nobody there. He takes off and run. But here's a control that I love about him. He's trying to get somebody going. He said, I'm going to try to run over you, and that's what you saw with Holly.
Again, that was McClendon in on that there for TSU. Holly losing his helmet. Now he's got it back.
Has he got to come out for a play? Yeah, he's got to come out for a play.
So it looks like a timeout. They want to discuss matters. Here at a 3rd down and 8 with the ball at the 39. What say you, Mr. Sanders, in this situation? What's EIU discussing?
I just kind of talking about just trying to kind of get some rhythm. If you look at what the Tigers are doing, they're sending a lot of pressure on 3rd down. So I think the offensive coordinator and head coach is discussing to where they're going to put them maybe a receiver to the boundary and understand where the pressure's coming from, make a run, a slant, or something quick, and get the ball in hands to try to get a 1st down because this is a big, big series for this Panther team. You better believe Brandon Fisher's going to bring some pressure. You know, I don't know if it's going to be the linebacker pressure, if it's a saw blitz where you're coming off the edge, or you have a safety rotating and blitzing off the slot. So this is an opportunity to where this is where Brandon Fisher is at his best. They're in nickel defense right now, so you better believe somebody's coming to bring pressure on their quarterback.
So it'll be the 3rd down and 8.
Here it comes coming off the edge, saw blitz.
Holly barking out what he wants.
He's going to throw it to the number 2 slot.
Looking over, see McClendon backing off a bit. Slinging it, incomplete. Looking across midfield, and there was looking for C.J. Nelson, but unable to complete the pass.
Yeah, I mean, just a great job by your defense. But this is what I love what the defense does. This is where Holly had to get off his spot. See, got him off his spot to where he couldn't set his feet and throw the ball. So if you have any quarterback that gets off his spot right there with sidearming it, it's just going to be a bad throw. Why? Because he's off his spot.
And he threw it behind his receiver.
Absolutely, because he couldn't set his feet and he got him off his spot. It's just, when you have that pressure coming in, Brandon Fisher, the defense coordinator of the Tigers did, then now you got to get rid of the ball uncomfortably, and that's exactly what we saw against the Tigers.
C.J. Evans is deep to receive for the Tigers. And at about the 20, he is going to take it out to the 25, still on his feet to the 30 before he is tripped up. So that is where TSU will begin their offensive possession. The Tigers on homecoming have the 4-point lead here with 8:29 to play in the first half.
He shoots, and he scores!
It's the excitement of the crowd, the crack of a bat, the sound of your own heartbeat, the roar of the engines. The spirit of competition runs deep here, from the dirt track to the cheap seats. Whether you're screaming from the stands or taking your place in the limelight, Southern Illinois is your ticket to all the action. Sports venues and recreational facilities for whatever your obsession is. Come to cheer, come to challenge yourself, but discover so much more when you visit SI.
Back here, Nashville, 4-point lead for TSU, leading EIU. There you see how it's happened. Julian Patino, 30-yard field goal. And Draylon Ellis, a 4-yard touchdown pass to Karate Brinson, and a couple of the other standouts so far. MJ Flowers, no shock there, and CJ Evans, no shock there. Look, she's excited. She's calling everybody, saying she's on TV. Has the little one there.
That's awesome.
Maybe get a nice screenshot, blow it up to a nice 8x10, a 16x20, maybe one of those nice steel options, take up the whole wall, So Tennessee State comes out here in a 1st and 10 with the ball at their own 32-yard line. And here, the handoff, and not much going.
You have a situation where they're in a 10 personnel. It's 1 back, 0 tight ends, and 3 wide receivers. Then you go 3-by-1. Then you see your it's a penalty. We got a penalty.
So the Tigers able to get the first down because of the horse collar. We'll take another look at it.
See. Oh yeah, that's a horse collar. Oh, that's dangerous. Yeah, you got to call that. I mean, that's
blatant.
That's blatant. I mean, you can't do that, and then you get up celebrating. You don't want to do that. No. You just got to penalty. Have a good day, sir.
That was Joel Barrows. Again, that's a 5th-year senior.
Yeah, but I in that situation, I know it's kind of tough because I know you're trying to compete and everything, but you got to be smart as a football player and not make plays like that. You got to understand the situation.
Not make the play, understand of where the game is.
Absolutely.
You have 8.5 to play in the first half. You're down 4. Here's Ellis as he rolls out, gain of a few yards before he races out of bounds.
You know what I love about this, what's going on right now? I love what Coach Partridge is doing, the offensive coordinator of the Tigers. He's starting to spread this team out, because if you look at what's going on, you know, there's a lot of team speed that Tigers have more than the Panthers, and this is what they're doing. You have Ellis just rolling out. I know they only got a couple of yards, but I love what Coach Partridge is doing, the offensive coordinator is doing. He's spreading them out, and he's trying to run to those gaps and run to those plays to where the Panthers can't get there.
And that's something there you see Eddie George earlier this week when I was talking to him. He said, Travis Partridge, the offensive coordinator, has done a really good job this year. In his first year at the helm, really guiding Ellis and putting him in a position to succeed. As here, it's going to be to the 40-yard line, and that's going to be McGill down to about the 30-yard line before he falls down.
Man, that's just a great read by your quarterback. When you have this zone read, you have a situation to where if the defensive end crashes, then you pull it, but if he stays out there, you give it to your running back, and that's exactly what we saw. When you just talked about Partridge, teaching your quarterback to make the right reads, teaching him to understand what's going on, teach him to understand what the defense is doing. Great read by your quarterback, great run by McGill.
Approaching the 7-minute mark here in the second quarter. Here's Ellis. He'll take it back. Now looking deep, looking for that home run ball, and pass interference. Flags coming out. Karate asking for him.
You know, even though they didn't complete that pass, that's a great call by Partridge, because when you have a situation on the play before that, when you run the inside zone and you have positive yards, now you come back with the flea flicker because you have those linebackers stepping up, you know, safety stepping up to try to get behind the secondary.
Thought that was Karate, but that was actually Bryant Williams. They're looking to haul that in.
Yeah, I mean, 6 feet, 190, you know, averaging 11.1 yards per catch. So, you know, that's the time to get him the football.
Here's Ellis. He's going to hand it off, and there's some space. Racing forward is McGill. So McGill's gotten the lion's share of the carries of late, as he's the churn and burn guy, and it's worked the last couple possessions.
Yeah, he is. I mean, the one thing I love about him also, he's just a patient runner. When you talk about being patient, you let your blocks come to fruition, and that's exactly what we're doing. I love the patience. I love the physicality that he brings, and, you know, you just love what you're seeing in McGill.
Here's Ellis. He's got some time. He's looking, and that is going to be a touchdown.
Oh, nice.
I think no one really knew that. I don't even think Bryant Williams was sure about it, but he catches it and positioned perfectly right there in front of the official, who had a second before he made a reaction. So Bryant Williams able to haul it in as we look at Draylon Ellis.
Yeah, but here's the thing I love that I love about the whole play. Your quarterback throws it in, but you throw it to where only the receiver can catch the football. See, if you look at the play, we'll show the video later on, but if you watch, the defensive back has leverage on him, but the great maturation of your quarterback, Ellis, he throws it in the window to where only the receiver can catch it. Great play by your quarterback, great play by our receiver. Touchdown, Tigers. Let's go.
Tigers able to punch it in again. Now James Lowry is on to look to add the extra point. So he is going to be able to put it up and through. So with that, the Tigers able to push it out to a 14-3 lead here over visiting EIU. 6:28 to play in quarter number 2. Homecoming for the Tigers, looking good here in the first half. So you can see TSU there, happy with what they're able to do.
You know, I like what I saw in that drive. I mean, you got the pass to run, the flea flicker, and you just kind of keeping the Panthers off balance, because the one thing that I love also, I know we're talking about the running back, I know we're talking about Ellis, but the physicality of your offensive line. You got Freeman, you got Smith, you got Meadows, and you got guys that are physical at the point of attack, and that's what you want to do. It starts with the run, then you can do with the pass. You're combining things, you have a balance, and that's why it's 14-3 Tigers.
As here, Lowry is able to scorch that one through the end zone. So Ellis able to find Bryant Williams for 7 yards for that touchdown a couple seconds ago. Ellis earlier finding Crotty Brenson from 4 yards out. So Draylen with a pair of touchdown passes. So keeps playing this well. This will be 3 weeks in a row that the coaches will be pleased with the way that DJ has played.
Man, he's been playing well. I mean, just looks comfortable in the pocket. And here's the thing that I love about him is he's making right decisions. I mean, we saw the situation earlier to where he threw it at the running back's foot. Yes, you throw it at his feet because there's nothing open. He's making right decisions. He's throwing the ball where only the receiver can catch it, and that's what you need in your quarterback. Absolutely love what he's doing. Confidence, poised, and ready to go.
Here's Holly. He's going to toss it across the middle. There's almost some trouble off the fingertips of MJ Flowers.
Yeah, but just kind of looking at the situations going on in the secondary, I know we're paying attention to the front with Eric George and those guys. The secondary is blanketing the receivers. Look at early in the game when he was getting those 5-yard catches, those little hitches. They ain't doing that anymore because they're blanking them like a quilt all day long.
And that's an adjustment made by the players and by DC Brandon Fisher.
Yes, doing a great job. I mean, they're really putting a lot of pressure on the line of scrimmage. And right now they're in a cover 3, 1 safety high. And, you just don't want to give them anything.
Here's Holly. Right across the middle. Nothing going there. Looking for a flag with C.J. Nelson. You can start to see some of the maybe frustration. There you see Nelson kind of getting up, head down a little bit. And on the flip side, saw Boogie Trotter do a little dance.
Yeah, he did a little dance. Oh, they call him Boogie. See, Boogie Trotter.
Yes, living up to the name.
But there is no separation between the receiver and the defensive back, and that's what you want in the secondary. We always call it sticky coverage. That means I'm like a wall. I'm dead smack in your hip pocket, and that's what we're seeing against this secondary with the Tigers.
So it'll be a 3rd down and 10 from EIU's own 25-yard line. Holly looking to his left, and able to find his guy. Again, that's Cooper Willman calling that in.
We've been saying his name a while, and here's what you want as a receiver. We always talk about when it's 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11. It's about getting to the sticks. So when I say getting to the sticks, that means if it's a 11 yards to I get a first down, I got to go 12 and come back to the football. And when you have an experienced receiver like that, to get to the sticks and get it, it's not a first down, getting close to the first down, then that's what you got to do.
So they're going to go 4th and 1. As Holly was initially going to line up under, now goes to Evans, and it goes off of Flowers. He is able to pounce on top of it, but a good stop there for TSU, and that's what they want to see. You can see Eddie George, he's fired up, wants to keep his crew focused and going as they were able to stand on a 4th and 1.
Man, that's just a bad distribution between your center and your quarterback. When you're 4th and 1, why would you go shotgun? And I know everybody's different. I'm just getting behind center. If it's 3rd and inches, I'm getting behind the center, and I'm going and I'm having them, push me forward. But that's a gift to the Tigers. Now you got to take care of the situation in task at hand. You got a short field. You have 5:34 left in the quarter. This is where you can put them away by getting a touchdown.
You have 14-3. TSU has the lead. 5:34 to play, so plenty of time to work with. And here is C.J. Evans with the carry. Let's see, Tennessee State's last couple drives, been able to rack up a few touchdowns. 10 plays, 55 yards. 6 plays, 69 yards. Eddie George will take that. Take that again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here, Ellis has that one tipped at the line. There he was looking for Bryant Williams again.
I want to talk about the play before, and when you talk about what makes the inside zone work, and we always talk about the pass, and that's great. But let me tell you about the running game, why it's working. You got your offensive line that is running the outside zone to perfection. When I say running to perfection, these guys are running to their gap. It's not about running to a man; they are sprinting to a gap. And when you have your offensive line sprinting to a gap, that's when your running back can make one cut and go. And I just love what the offensive line is doing.
So here's a 3rd down and 3. Handoff again. Not much going there, as Jordan Gant had the carry on that one.
Yeah.
But there was enough there for a first down. So we've seen Evans, McGill, and now Gant. I haven't seen Jalen Rouse yet, but Sure we will. Get a little dose,
Yeah,
a little something of each guy.
Absolutely.
So it's a 1st and 10 from the EIU 22 as TSU looks to keep rolling. Here's Ellis, gives it to Gantz, almost trips up, but is able to still make a couple yards out of it.
Yeah, I love the change of pace. I mean, you got Gant just running 5'10", 205.
And that's what those guys do.
That's what they do. They do a great job. But then you look at Gant, he's averaging 3.6. You got McGill that's 4.4. You got Evans that's 4.0. You got a lot of running backs that's in the stall that can make some plays. And just watch them run in the outside zone. These guys make one cut and go. And then you got McGill that runs the inside zone that's going to make one stick and go and run through your face. That's what you want. That's the change of pace that Coach Partridge is bringing to this team.
Here, Jalal Dean goes in motion. Ellis was looking toward Dean. Now he's under some pressure, creates a little time, and he's going to shuttle it over.
Yikes.
As that's Hoth able to grab it before he is brought down.
So that's just a great job by your quarterback because there's nothing downfield. There's nothing there. So what you need to do, just protect the football. So what he did, as opposed to throwing it to where the defense was, he throws it to Hoth. That's a simple play and try to get close to a first down.
So it'll be a 3rd down and 5. There you see the 3rd down situations for both these teams this evening. 2 of 6 for TSU, 1 of 6 for EIU so far in this contest.
You know, and just looking at, the Tigers on 3rd down, they're completing 34% on 3rd down. So they struggle a little bit. This is the perfect time to kind of up those scores. Perfect.
Here's Ellis. He's able to find his man off to the races, and down at about the 2-yard line is Jared Bullock.
Man, just looking at what Ellis is doing. They always talk about a quarterback taking over an offense, taking ownership of the offense, and that's exactly what we're seeing with Ellis. He's just making the simple plays look great. Throw it to your back outside, the backfield, and let him make plays, and just a great job by your quarterback.
Here's Ellis again, looking left and into and out of the hands there of Jalal Dean.
And that's just a bad pass by Ellis. I know he's trying to throw it to where he threw it with Williams, but I think the wide receiver needs to get the DB off his spot a little bit more to create a little bit of separation. When I say get him off his spot, it's to make him open up his hip to create a window to where only the quarterback can do it. And I just think he needs to help his quarterback a little better.
So it'll be a 2nd down and 4. As TSU looks to add to their 11-point lead. Handoff will go to Evans as he races up the middle and hits pay dirt. Evans chalks up another touchdown for TSU, and they're up 20-3.
Man, just a great job by Evans. I mean, you run the inside zone we talk about all day long, and he's just more like a scat back. He makes one cut and go, makes the touchdown. Now the Tigers are up 20-3, and with the extra point, 21-3. Great job, great sequence, great balance, Tigers.
Fans feeling it, feeling the rhythm, dancing a little bit here at homecoming. TSU creating a little separation, the Tigers over the Panthers, as Lowry gets set to add to the extra point, unable to do so, and that is how that play will end.
Yeah.
Not pretty for TSU, but they do get the touchdown and the 20-3 lead here on EIU.
Yeah.
You can see there Evans patrolling the sidelines, trying to get the rest of the troops ready to roll.
Well, we talked about one of the keys of the game, and we said it earlier in the game, is they want to start fast. I know the first 3 series were pretty bad, but other than that, man, they've been playing balanced football, running the ball, throwing the ball, protecting the football, and it just shows you, man, this is a mature team. You got guys who are playing physical at the offensive line. You got receivers making plays. You got your quarterback playing at the top level. The defense is doing great also. This is a recipe for something great for this Tigers team because I'm seeing a different team than what I saw last year.
Indeed, and they have the 20-3 lead. As there you continue to see Evans. He transferred in from Austin Peay, and Eddie George, talking to him earlier this week, said they weren't exactly sure what they were going to get. He's coming off a knee injury, weren't sure what they were going to get physically or mentally from him, but the last few weeks, he started to separate himself from the other running backs that we've talked about here this evening, and that's why he's getting the lion's share of the carries, as EIU will bring it out to about the 20-yard line, and that's where the Panthers will begin their offensive possession.
Yeah, and just with Evans, we talk about Evans not just doing it in the running back position, he's also doing it as a returner. I mean, if you look at when, the offense was kind of stalling and getting 3 and outs, who was a bright spot by doing some returns? It was Evans. Evans gave him great field position, making plays, and then also, creating some, making some plays in the running game. So that's exactly what you want with your running back.
And there you see touchdowns on the last 3 drives for TSU, racking up 156 yards and the 3 scores. And that's what you want to see, something we haven't seen at least the last few years. Now you're starting to see the offense click, which the fans want to see, and frankly the team obviously wants to see. But it's more fun to watch when it's both sides clicking, and the offense the last few years really hasn't been, and now maybe they're taking that step, that leap forward.
Yeah, they've just been consistent. I mean, we always talk about a team that's good and a team that's great. They're consistent each and every week. And even though the last 2 weeks they struggled with starting fast, they're still consistent in trying to find a way to win it. Because if you look at what Eddie George was talking about when he did his interview at the beginning of the season, he said the difference between this year and last year is leadership. And one of the leaders of this team is Jayden Bell, 6'4", 300. He's calling guys out. He's making guys make plays, and that's exactly what you need. It's your leaders.
There's the handoff again to MJ Flowers out to about the 30-yard line before he is brought down. And that is going to bring us to the 2-minute mark here in quarter number 2. And that'll bring us to a timeout on the field. We'll take it as well. TSU, the Tigers on homecoming, in control over the Panthers. The moon is out here in the Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. TSU playing a nice tune so far.
They are.
Tigers pouncing on the Panthers of EIU, 20-3 here with a couple minutes to work with in the first half.
They're playing well. I mean, they're playing good on offense, defense, and actually special teams with Evans at the return. So, I think this is a big, big down because you got to remember that the Panthers get the ball in the second half.
Here's Holly. He dumps it across, and that is going to be Quentin Rogers. He's off to the races, to the 30, down to the 20, still on his feet to the 10, and brought out of bounds just before the 5-yard line. Rogers catching only his second ball of the season. The redshirt freshman able to rip off a large chunk there.
Yeah, I mean, just a great job by just a great job by the quarterback. He just sees it. He's got man-to-man on the slot. He throws it slant, he catches it. We call it yards after catch, and that's exactly what he did. And just a great job by your quarterback recognizing cover zero. When I say cover zero, it's man-to-man across the board. He recognized it quickly. He knew the pressure was coming. He stepped up, made the throw to the wide receiver. Receiver did the rest. Great play by your wide receiver quarterback.
EIU looking for the answer here with $1:49 to play in the first half. First and goal from the 3, just off the fingertips there of MJ Flowers.
Man, that's just a tough. The reason why he couldn't step up and make a throw is because there was pressure coming between the A and B gap. And when you can't step up and make, the play with the running back coming out of the backfield, it's just hard to make plays when you can't step up when the pressure's coming towards you.
So now be a 2nd down and 3 for EIU. Holly, 10 of 18, 173 yards in the game so far. He's been sacked once. Stands in the backfield with Flowers. Sends Nelson in motion. Holly has that one knocked away. Didn't quite get under that one enough. Would have been nice to maybe have seen a little tip action there. As Keandre Booker was right there in Holly's face.
Man, just a great job by Booker, the pursuit that he's making. And when you look at him, you got a big guy like that that's tracking down your quarterback. The quarterback can't make a proper throw because there's no window. So when there's no window, you just jump up and bat it down. And that's exactly what we saw, with Booker.
So it'll be a 3rd and goal from the 9. Holly sending Rogers in a little motion, looking toward Flowers. That's where he's going to go. And Flowers, second burst, is able to get into the end zone.
It just shows you the power of Flowers. I mean, you get hit when you're catching the football and you keep your legs moving. Well, look at the power this man has. Look at the determination that he has. He just catches at the ball and gets in the end zone. Yes, he gets hit, but he was determined to get in the end zone. Just watching it. Holly throws the ball, he throws it up, bam! All of a sudden he keeps his leg moving, touchdown, Panthers. We always talk about a team that needs to give an answer. That's a big answer right there when you're down by 17.
Indeed, and that's what you expect from the reigning conference freshman of the year. Flowers with his 5th touchdown of the season. And the extra point here is up and good. So it is a 20-10 lead for TSU with a buck and a half to play here in the first half. Flowers has carried the ball 12 times, 39 yards, and that touchdown. And there you see the game summary that's got us to this point. TSU has scored touchdowns on their last 3 drives. C.J. Evans, 44-yard kick return to spark that scoring string. And D.J. Ellis with a couple touchdown passes. And Quentin Rogers ripping off that 62-yard catch in order to set up the EIU touchdown just a couple seconds ago.
Now we got a ball game, just so we talk about answering the call. And this offense answered the call. You had a big catch by your wide receiver, and also you had Flowers to make a touchdown. Now we got a ball game, whether it's 20-10, so with 1:31 to go. This is an opportunity to where you got a minute 31, you got a couple of timeouts. If you get a field goal and get something out of this, you still have the momentum going into halftime.
So we'll see if they are able to do that as Julian Patino will be kicking off here for the Panthers. Launches it. Going to go out of the back of the end zone. So now a chance for TSU's offense to answer.
Yeah, they got to answer. I mean, they got to answer the call. I mean, I know they're up 20-10, but you want to create some momentum going into halftime. Get 3 points or get 7 points to where you take that bad series out of your mouth.
TSU coming off back-to-back wins, winning here at home against Charleston Southern in a ton of rain. Won that game 13-9, and then won at Lindenwood 24-20 in a game that they trailed early, battled back, and a real culture win for Eddie George and his crew. As he said, there's Ellis able to complete the pass. They're able to find Gerard Bullock again. So his second catch of the evening.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you want to do. You got a minute and 17 or 16 left. You just want to make some simple plays and let them make big plays. So now if you get into closer range, then now you can try to take some shots downfield.
So gain of a couple yards there. Ellis looking to work and quickly slings it over, and there he'll find Gant. Another short pickup out to about the 30. as the clock rolls. About 50 seconds to work with.
Yeah, I think they're just going to be content and going to halftime 20-10. I mean, there's no sense of urgency. There's no oomph to try to get a field goal because at the end of the day, you want to have momentum going into the second half, and that's exactly what they're going to have with the Tigers.
Here's Ellis. He's under some pressure, able to survive it. Looking downfield, but he'll throw it away.
Great play. I mean, the one thing I love about him, we talked about, he extends the play, and we got a flag on the play. We'll see what happens with what's going on with this.
As the Zebras huddle to discuss matters. Ten-point lead for TSU with 27 ticks left here in half number one. Keep it here at halftime. We'll get you up to date on some news and notes from around the conference. Also have Howard Gentry
great man,
joining us. Punt here. EIU will field at about the 35-yard line with 19 seconds to play. EIU to receive the second half kickoff.
They probably just going to take a knee and play it safe. I mean, that's what you want to do. I know that the series was good, but you never know. I've seen some crazy things happen. You know, just like maybe about 10 years ago, one of the quarterbacks out there is going to take a knee and they threw a bomb. So you still got to still got to keep your eyes open.
So you're trying to keep us up here in the booth.
Yes.
Focused. As here, the handoff goes to No Shock, Mr. Flowers. That should do it. It's down to 5 seconds. No urgency for the Panthers. So that is going to bring us to halftime here in Tennessee, where TSU, the Tigers, look for their third straight victory. And midway through this one, lead the visiting Eastern Illinois Panthers 20-10. Eddie George and crew in a pretty good position here at halftime in the Music City. Of week 7. Welcome back here to halftime at Nissan Stadium as it's homecoming for Tennessee State. The Tigers welcoming in Eastern Illinois, EIU, the Panthers, and here midway through the game, let's also take a look at the Big South OVC news and notes of Week 7 as we take a look at the conferences which merged into a joint conference for the sport of football last season, playing its inaugural campaign with 10 members. Of course, SEMO, you take a look at where they are, jumping in to the top 10, first time in 14 years that the Redhawks have been able to do that. Western Illinois winning the first Big South OVC game, and for Charleston Southern, Octavius Eisen running for 229 yards versus WIU. Halftime continues from the Music City as TSU and EIU continue. Back here in Nashville, Tennessee, it's TSU's homecoming, and so far so good for the Tigers, pouncing on the EIU Panthers here this evening, 20-10. And here at the half, joined by Howard Gentry, a former AD here at TSU. Your father was an AD. You hold bachelor's and master's degrees from Tennessee State University. How exciting is homecoming here?
Homecoming is the biggest thing ever for me. I don't think I've missed a homecoming but one time in 72 years.
There you go.
And but it's just a great time. for university, for the students, for everybody.
And you talked about, before we came on air, you talked a little bit about the transformation going on across the campus as a whole, and specifically the athletic department. Talk about that.
Well, the transformation really started when Mickey Allen and Eddie George came in and on the football and the athletic side. And it was not a natural transformation. COVID hit. And COVID changed everything. And, you talk about people having experience or not having experience. If you weren't an athletic director during COVID, then you haven't had that experience. So not only did they have to adapt and adjust to a new place for all of them, but they had to also adapt and adjust with the COVID, also with the NIL and the portal. All this happened all at one time. And, of course, the university right now is we have an interim president at TSU, and he's trying to get everything on solid ground. So it's just I look at it as an opportunity for TSU to launch again after all this is done. And it's already starting. It's in little pieces, sure, but it's starting.
And that's great to see the football team playing well here this evening. Of course, hockey's right around the corner, hopefully. Yep. First HBCU to have a hockey program. That's huge.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Any first is huge, but no, it is really huge. And a lot of people don't understand it. But then if you think about it, you will understand it. First is not going to be understandable because you're first. But hockey is going to be good for the university. I think it will attract corporate support. It will attract national and international support for the university. It's the kind of sport that almost has to kind of pay for itself. But I think the efforts behind it will create an opportunity for hockey to really be something big, not just for TSU, but other HBCUs as we go.
Indeed. And so, all right, here we're at halftime. We're here at homecoming. You know all the facets of homecoming much more than I do. You have the fish fry, you have the aristocratic bands, you have all the tailgating here. What's the favorite part of homecoming for Howard Gentry?
Oh, I'm telling you right now, it's the parade.
Okay, I didn't even say the parade.
You would think it would be the football game, right? Right. No, there's nothing like a TSU homecoming parade. 20,000 plus over about a mile span, and it just gets thicker and thicker and thicker and slower. And I don't know, I've been in so many TSU parades. I have the daughters that have been in it. Our youngest daughter was in the parade right behind us, and it is amazing. That's where you really get to see how the community really supports TSU. Yeah, the game is big too. As a matter of fact, look at the stands. We had about the same amount of people out there tailgating as we did in the stands in the second quarter, but now they're all in the stands, and that's good. That's tradition too.
They're in the stands, and the team's playing well, so they got to stay.
Yeah, hopefully they will. Hopefully they will. Yes.
Howard, thank you for coming by and taking a few minutes. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Howard Gentry right there. We are at halftime. Back with a little bit more as TSU has the lead over EIU 20-10. Back with more after this from the Music City. Back here at halftime, a little bit maybe of an extended halftime here at homecoming for TSU. The Aristocrat of Bands is playing us back from break as TSU has the 20-10 lead on Eastern Illinois, who's visiting, and 10-point lead, so that's good. And you take a look at DJ Ellis. He's looked good. And maybe a little bit of a slow start, frankly, both of these teams. Goose eggs for a while.
Yeah.
And now at the half, TSU looking pretty good. What are a couple things that really stuck out at you?
You know, the one thing I love about this is they have a balanced offense. You have the run, the pass, and then you have Gant that's running the ball where you had Evans that's just running like a madman. And then you got Ellis that's just making great decisions. When you have a quarterback that's making great decisions and you have a great running game, it's a recipe for success. You said earlier that they struggled with the first 3 series. Yeah, they struggled, but it just shows you that they're a mature team because they come back and they have 3 drive where they score consistently. So that's what you want with your team. They're poised, they're ready, and they're a mature team. I love what I'm seeing with these Tigers.
The coaching staff, when I talked to them this week, they said the biggest things were culture wins, and the last 3 have been just that. Seems like here this evening so far, this seems to be another one.
I mean, you talk about culture, and that's what Eddie George is building. You build a culture of guys that want to win, guys that not just buying in, but they trust in. So when you have guys that are trusting, even when the times are bad, they're going to figure out a way to come and win. And that's exactly what we saw the last 2 games. They started out slow, but they figured out a way to win. And they now have a situation today where they started out slow, but they figure out a way to get drives and do it as a team as opposed to individuals.
Let's take a look at our highlights from this first half of action. And when you take a look at the way this game got started there, you see a little defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's a defensive game, and you got, missed field goals and things like that, but you got 2 defensive teams that are physical. But here's a situation with Ellis. He just makes the right decision. Even though he threw the ball away, he's making decisions and making the right play.
And that's something else the coach has talked about. His decision-making has been on key these last few weeks. And there, another good play by the defense.
Yeah, we talk about defense wins championship, and just watching what they're doing. They're having 4 or 5 guys to the ball, and then you have your secondary that are making plays. I know they didn't make a play that play, but you got your secondary playing well and keeping the guys in the game. I know that, the Panthers were driving to get a field goal, but you have your defense that's consistently keeping you in the game.
And when you take a look at both of these teams, the defense has been okay at times, and here you see a nice big pickup, big chunk. And that's something else, the explosives that these coaches like to see for TSU.
You want to have these explosive plays. We just saw the one with Evans, and you have one Karate Benson. But I just love what Ellis is doing. He's going through his read progressions, and he's throwing it to the receiver where only he can make the play. And you have a situation with the Panthers. You have the receiver catch the ball, and he gets a long run. Yes, you have a situation like that, but, you still have the momentum with 20-10.
That was over a 60-yard catch there for Rogers. And that set up EIU able to push it in.
Yeah, we were talking about having an answer, and we have an answer. Here's our answer right here. You got Flowers just running through somebody's lips, and they're back in the game. I know they're down 20-10, but that was a big play in the football game. We always talk about momentum, and you have the momentum with the Tigers.
And there you see the halftime stats and where we stand at this point, and you see rushing yards, ticket to TSU, passing yards, EIU, total yards, EIU. But when you take a look at the score, TSU.
I mean, TSU's playing ball. We always talk about a team that's balanced, and that's exactly what the Tigers are. They're balanced on offense and they're balanced on defense. You have a situation with offense to where your quarterback is playing phenomenal. You got a defense that's playing ferocious. You got to keep the momentum going. They can't come out here at halftime and lay an egg. They got to play, in 3 facets of the game: offense, defense, and special teams.
Halftime stats presented by United Fidelity Bank. United Fidelity Bank serving their communities since 1914. Back with the second half from Nashville, Nissan Stadium. In just a few seconds, Tennessee State has the 20-10 victory on EIU. Back here at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. It's homecoming for TSU. The Tigers leading EIU 20-10. TSU looking for their third straight victory. And, you know, there's a Cowboy connection. The Dallas Cowboys have a connection to each of these programs. Household names. Played with each of these programs. Went on to play for the Dallas Cowboys. And there you see him. Ed Too Tall Jones for TSU moving to the boys. And then you see Tony Romo from EIU to the boys. You know what's interesting about Ed Too Tall? He actually went to TSU to play basketball, left the team after a couple seasons, decided to play football under head coach John Merritt, and received that nickname. You know how?
Because he's too tall.
Well, yeah. He went to his first football practice, and a teammate mentioned that his pants didn't fit because he considered him too tall to play football. And there you go. That's how he got it. Ed Too Tall Jones.
Two great players. Great quarterback, great defensive guy. And look how many games you played. 224 NFL games? That's a lot of ball playing.
That's a ton. And then you see Tony Romo and what he meant to the NFL side of things. Now, he had his number 17 at EIU. First number that they had retired for the Panthers program. That was retired in 2009. So he was able to do that. And so there you see the Cowboys connection there. And the Cowboys connection not over because there's Eddie.
Yeah, he went to, what school did he go to?
Went to the
Ohio State University.
he had a little taste with the boys.
Yeah, he did. I didn't like him in that uniform.
I get it. I understand.
Just remember when Emmitt Smith played for the Arizona Cardinals. You're like, what are we doing? It's like me putting on a hockey uniform. What are we doing? It just doesn't fit. He belongs in a Titans uniform, period.
Ohio State. The Ohio State. I think Buckeyes uniform.
I just looked at the score. Ohio State's winning 7-0 against Oregon. Take that.
That's good. Take that, Ducks.
Take that, Ducks. Take that, Ducks. I like that.
So it'll be EIU receiving here to start the second half. Panthers, we mentioned, dealing with some injury issues, especially in the receiving core. So the fact they've been able to stick around, the fact they've been able to keep this a 10-point game is pretty huge as we get this second half set to go.
Yeah, it is. You got a team that's hungry. I mean, they're 1-5 and they haven't been playing well, but they play some tough teams. So
yes.
I think this is a big series to where they need a touchdown or the Tigers get a stop.
And so that will be a start at the couple-yard line. And, you take a look at, you mentioned the tough teams that they played, meaning EIU. And EIU has played a couple of Big Ten schools. They played Illinois and Northwestern. They also have played SEMO, which is ranked 9th. They played Illinois State, ranked 16th. They played a pretty good Lindenwood school, lost by 3. So the only win came against Indiana State. 7-point victory. That's their only win so far this season. So trying to get things going here in conference. And the handoff will be good for a gain of a couple yards before being brought down.
Yeah, I mean, just a great job by your front. I mean, you got to make sure you stop the running game because you got Flowers in the backfield. So I think this is a big stop because the thing about it is we always talk about the game having momentum shifts. Mm-hmm. And I think that if the Panthers get a touchdown or a field goal, then the tide might change a little bit. That's why I'm saying that this is a big stop by the Tigers.
So it was a pickup of 1. Holly. Again, we'll go to Flowers. Not much going there. Didn't fool anybody from TSU.
Man, it's a great job by your front. I mean, you're in an even defense and just doing a great job by stopping the run.
There you see the Aristocrat of Bands, TSU's marching band. Won a couple Grammys.
Yes.
Tip of the cap to that.
They've been busy because I saw them on Jefferson Street today, and, man, they were phenomenal. I mean, just playing and everybody dancing, get the crowd excited. Just a great job at Aristocrats.
Now, a lot of people do come to the games to see the Aristocrat of Bands. I want to see the fans stay to see some football.
I know. This is a pretty good crowd here today.
It is. And so hopefully they'll stick around here and see second half action as Holly is going deep. And again, he's going for Willman. And there's going to be a flag. Willman bumped up at about the 30-yard line after he's able to make the catch.
Man, just a great job. And the thing about it,
pass interference, defense. That penalty's declined. First down.
That is a scary situation when you got a cornerback that's chasing the wide receiver because he's in panic zone. So even though it's pass interference, he still made a great job by making the catch. That's just great concentration by your wide receiver. Great job. He didn't catch it at the highest point, but he caught into his body to where he could only catch the football.
So big chunk of yards there picked up as it's a 1st and 10 from the TSU 28-yard line. EIU looking to turn the tide. Here's Holly going up top. And not able to find his man. And the double coverage there. And no shock again. Going to Willman.
Yeah, just a great job by your corner. We always talk about a corner standing in your hip pocket. And if you watch the technique of the cornerback, you want to keep the receiver in front of you, even though the defensive back has a broken hand. But watch what he does. He has him in his hip pocket, and he locates the football to where it's not pass interference. Great technique. Great job by your cornerback.
Tyler Jones in on the coverage there for TSU. So it'll be a 2nd down and 10 for the Panthers. Here again, Flowers.
Ooh.
He'll take it to the 20, still on his feet, down to about the 16-yard line before he's brought down.
Man, he just runs angry. You ever seen a running back that just runs angry? You know, just talking about Eddie George, that's what he did when he played with The Ohio State University with the Tennessee Titans. He runs angry. He keeps his feet moving. That's exactly what we have with Flowers. He's big, he's physical, he runs inside zone with power, and that's what you want with your running back.
Again, going to Flowers, and he again is pushing forward. Gain of a few yards. There you see the homecoming court.
Nice.
The pageantry here for TSU.
Did you ever make homecoming queen? King, not queen, king.
No.
You didn't? Come on, man. I would have voted for you, man.
I was student government president. I was playing football. Well, at least I was on the football team.
But you did. You did it.
But no, I was unfortunately no.
Champ, I would have voted for you, man.
I appreciate that. That would have been one vote. That's nice. That's nice. Here's EIU. Holly dumps it off to Flowers to the 5 and down at about the 3-yard line as Boogie Trotter came in there to get him down.
Yeah, they're just making simple plays. What they're doing is they're just, we call this kind of like a mini throwback. What you do is you just send the receivers deep and you just have the running back run the flare, and that's exactly what happened. You have your receivers clearing it out. You throw it to your running back in the flare and just let him make a play. Those are just easy throws to get you right back in the game because everybody knows that it's hard to score in the red zone. You just make simple throws, make good decisions, and put yourself in position to score a touchdown.
So it'll be 1st and goal from the 3. There you see Boogie Trotter, the junior from Nashville, Tennessee. And here you see Flowers again taking it up the middle.
You know, and what you love about Flowers is, you know, even though he gets hit, he's always consistently going forward, and that's what you want as a running back.
And they go right back to him again, churns the legs a little bit, and he crosses the goal line into the end zone. So another touchdown for EIU and another one for Flowers.
Oh, man, just another Flowers. And just looking at the run right here, I mean, it's just a powerful run. Just run the inside zone. He gets the ball. He makes one cut, and he just says, you know what, you're not going to deny me from running the football. And then also you have the offensive line that's doing, you know, a great job. You got Aurelino. I can't pronounce his name right. You got some other offensive guys that are helping to run the inside zone. They're getting a push with the defense, and that's exactly what you want with your offensive line.
Arellano.
You got to put some
Arellano. As the kick there is up and good. So it is a 20-17 TSU lead. The Tigers clinging to a 3-point edge. 11 minutes to play in the 3rd.
He shoots, and he scores!
It's the excitement of the crowd. The crack of a bat, the sound of your own heartbeat, the roar of the engines. The spirit of competition runs deep here, from the dirt track to the cheap seats. Whether you're screaming from the stands or taking your place in the limelight, Southern Illinois is your ticket to all the action. In sports venues and recreational facilities for whatever your obsession is. Come to cheer, come to challenge yourself, but discover so much more when you visit SI.
You know, I keep saying Nashville, Music City. Well, it's Roar City.
Roar
right?
City.
It's homecoming.
Homecoming.
For TSU.
Yeah, they need to roar on this series.
I was going to say, they need to get the roar back as it's a 3-point lead for TSU. And there you see Flowers, MJ Flowers, able to push that last touchdown in right before we went to break for a yard. But look at the evening he's had. 19 carries, 58 yards, and that touchdown. So he's been working. And those have not been easy yards.
Oh, they haven't, but they're tough runs, and you're standing in front of the chains. And just watching him, run the ball and even catch the ball out of the backfield, I mean, he's something special.
Caught here at the 1, down to about the 20-yard line. And that is where TSU will begin their offensive possession. C.J. Evans brought it out.
This is a big series.
Yep.
And this is huge. I mean, because, you were up 20-10 at halftime. Then you have the Panthers, have a long drive to get a touchdown, cap it off with Flowers. They got to get some momentum and get right back to what they were doing those last couple of series with touchdowns and field goals.
Well, remember, TSU was up 20-3.
20-3.
And then TSU was able to have that MJ Flowers 9-yard run for a touchdown, and then just the 1-yard run a couple seconds ago for a touchdown. So they've been able to battle back into this thing. Rush forward for a couple of yards.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you want to do. You want to still keep that running game going on. I mean, keep these running backs coming in, Evans, McGill, and, really start to get a little bit of momentum back. Because if you look at the body language of the Tigers, you look at the body language of the Panthers, I think the Panthers have a little mojo right now because they're coming off that 7, that's those 7 points.
As here, Ellis dumps it off, but nothing going there. Bryant Williams caught it, but
yeah, there was absolutely
Panthers were swarming.
They were swarming, and here's the thing: when you go empty, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I know that you got to get the ball out quick because there's a pressure that's coming from somewhere. But when you start throwing those quick screens, those other 2 receivers, they got to make sure they block. If they don't block and they miss a block, that's why you saw 2 Panther defenders go right there for the tackle.
So it'll be a 3rd down and 9 from the 22. Ellis has a little bit of time. Not much going there.
Ooh, that's a big time play. I mean, just watching him break on the football and just looking at what he's doing. He just reads his keys. Ellis throws a quick little pass, and here comes your shake, bam, right there. And that's exactly what you want against the defense. Now look at the body language of the Panthers. They're running out the field. They got some excitement. They got a touchdown. They got a 3 and out. This is a big possession for the Tigers and the Panthers.
That was Nijai Burt, a junior from the Keystone State from Pennsylvania, in there on that coverage. Former safety, turned corner.
Yeah, you can tell. I mean, he broke on that ball with the quickness.
And here, grabbing it at the 40, out toward midfield. That's Willman, of course. He's a guy that brings a lot of passion to the gridiron. And he's a guy that's going to bring us to a break. So Holly being told what to do, and we'll keep it right here as Chris Wilkerson is in his ear.
Just looking at the last 2 drives, I mean, he had a 60-yard pass to Rogers set up for the MJ Flowers and TD catch. And then in the 3rd quarter, you got a 40-yard pass to C. Wibbs to set up MJ Flowers for the TD run. this is a big-time series right here. I mean, the Tigers are up 20-17. You got the momentum with the Panthers. They got to find a way to stop the bleeding. And just kind of watching overall on defense and offense right now, the Panthers are playing physical on offense and defense right now. Something's got to change.
So a 3-point lead for TSU. EIU rolling, though. Here's Holly. He's under some pressure, scrambling around, dumps it out, and Flowers is going to catch the tip to about the 40-yard line.
In the world? I mean, sometimes,
and that's the way this game has gone the last few minutes.
It has. I mean, everything's been going, the Panthers' way. I mean, you have a situation right here, and all this is just volleyball. I mean, you have, Holly just throwing the ball, and he escapes. He loses the rush. He throws it to, I don't know who he's throwing it to, but it ends up in Flowers' hand, and he just makes a play. And now they're standing in front of the change. It's 2nd and 5.
That was Deion Villiers in that popped it up, but Flowers was able to grab it. Flowers, nothing going there. Sniffing it out, the Tigers and the big man, Kimbrough.
Yeah, I mean, great job by Kimbrough. I mean, that's what you want to do. I mean, you got a situation to where you're behind the chains and you have a defense that comes up and stuffs in this. We just saw right here. I mean, you're penetrating your gaps and then you're making sure you make the right reads, and that's exactly what we saw with Kimbrough.
Kimbrough and McClendon in on the stop there. TSU asking for a little more here on 3rd and 6, wanting the crowd to get into it. Holly barking out orders for the Panthers. Looking left, that's where he'll dump it off to Flowers. Nothing going again. The defense sniffed that one out.
Man, just a great job by reading your keys. And, man, if you kind of look at what was going on, they're going to throw a flare to the running back because the concept of what's going on. But here's what I love about the defense. You have 4 and 5 guys that are running to the football. You got a defense that's fast and physical, and we just saw that in the play with the Tigers.
So to bring on a 4th and 10. With that, it'll bring on the punt unit for EIU, Jacob Hovarth from Australia, to kick for the Panthers. Puts it up high, fair catch called for and made at the 10. And now we'll go to a break with 7 minutes to play in the 3rd. It's the Tigers clinging to a 3-point lead on homecoming over the Panthers.
When you're the leader in disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen? Let it rain, Randy! Woo! Yes! By being prepared for anything! Woo! Whatever comes your way, there's a pro for that.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Imagine if you had 100 years to dedicate yourself to fun and wonder. That's exactly what Kentucky State Parks is celebrating this year. 100 years of unmatched scenery and history, with guided hikes and acclaimed golf, plus all kinds of cozy lodging and accommodations. Dedicate your weekends to creating memories that last a lifetime at parks.ky.gov.
CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
So if I had to describe Eastern, it's like chill, but yeah, you still have like a lot of stuff to do.
Events like First Night, events like Panther Palooza, our Student Involvement Fair, those are just so much fun ways you can see so many people on campus.
So right away, you get to impact a group. If you join a club, an activity, you get to actually have a voice right away.
You physically embrace the campus and embrace everything about Eastern, and you just learn to love everything about it.
Back here in Nashville, 20-17, TSU has the lead on EIU. Able to hold the Panthers on the last possession. Now Tennessee State will come back out on the offensive side of things and try to add to their lead as Draylon Ellis has punched it in a couple of times, a couple touchdown throws for the QB from TSU this evening.
They got get a little bit of rhythm in there. I mean, the last series was a 3 and out. It was just kind of like they were behind the chain. So they got to get back to the running game. I think they're in a 21 personnel, so I think they're going to try to run the ball.
Begin on their own 11-yard line. Here's Ellis. He's got some time, and that was tipped. He was looking for that big gain, looking to Jalal Dean.
That's an RPO. I mean, just a great job at the defender Porter. And I think that when you're not here, I mean, what he does is he's reading the quarterback eyes, and right when he releases the ball, see how he's watching his eyes, he throws it up, bam, and that's exactly what happens.
Phoenix Porter, one of the guys on this team, one of the leaders in the tackling departments, entering the day with over 30 tackles this season. So a 2nd down and 10. Here's Ellis again. He's going to keep it himself out to about the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
And they just got to be careful. I mean, you're running this RPO. You can't keep letting your quarterback take big hits like that, because if he starts taking more big hits like that, he might not finish the game. So I think if I'm the offensive coordinator, for the Tigers, who is Coach Partridge, I'm going to take the ball out of his hands, let him make some pass plays, and give it to your running backs like McGill, Evans, and let those guys make those powerful runs and try to get the first down.
So it was a pickup of 4. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 6. Checking into the game, Jared Bullock. We've seen make a couple catches for TSU. Here's Ellis. Still looking, going up top, and he finds his receiver out to the 45-yard line. That, again, is Karate Brinson with the nice pickup.
Man, just a great job by your quarterback. Also, you got Ellis that just throws the ball to where only the receiver can catch it. And this is what I love about Ellis. He waits, and he throws it to an open space where only the receiver can catch it. And this is what I love about your wide receiver. He goes up and catches it at the highest point. I mean, he's a big, physical wide receiver, and those are the catches that we expect him to make. Great job by Karate Brinson.
Now, we've seen Ellis do that a couple of times, place the ball perfectly. We saw him do that on the touchdown to Williams. We saw him do that on the big pickup to the tight end Hoth in the first half, and we saw it there, as well as a couple of other plays here on the grounds. Pickup, McGill, maybe a couple yards, but right there, Trajan Lewis, 5th-year senior from Texas, 6'4", 285-pounder, filling a lot of space for the Panthers.
Yeah, I want to go back to that last play with Karate Brinson. I mean, last year he kind of struggled to be consistent in catching the football and making the plays. I'm just seeing a different maturation of him. I mean, 6'2", 217, averaging, 14, yards per catch. Just watching him catch the football, watching him run routes, he's just a different player from last year.
Ellis has McGill in the backfield with him. Thought about it. Instead, dumps it off out to midfield. Still on his feet. To the 40. Making a move. Here is Brinson twisting and turning down to the 30-yard line before he's brought down. And Karate bringing some power and some passion.
Man, that's just a great job of running the football. When you talk about a guy just makes something special, this is just a simple play. He fakes the handoff. He throws it to your wide receiver. Cut right here. Great vision. And this is what I love about him. Yards after catching. And when you hit big body, 6'2", you're not going to bring him down. He turned into a running back when he catches the football. Great play, great catch, great run by Karate Brinson.
Aitken was the first one there trying to make the stop. The Karate was able to elude. Here, long, deep pass, and that is going to be a touchdown. Ellis able to find his man. Draylon doing a little dance.
Man, just a great job by your quarterback. And look at what he does. He sits there, and the wide receiver runs a shake route. When I say a shake route, it's a stuttering go. And when you have a receiver create separation like that, it makes your quarterback later. He runs down there. He celebrates. Why? Because you have your wide receiver make a spectacular play.
Jalal Dean with his 4th touchdown catch of the season. There's Lowry with the extra points, and that is good. So a nice answer for TSU. As the Tigers have expanded the lead here over EIU in the 3rd.
If you want to make the most of your vacation, there's no better place than the Bluegrass State. Kentucky's 44 state parks offer abundant places to play and diverse accommodations to stay. Take a hike, float your boat, or bike the trails. Pitch a tent under the stars or settle into a lakefront lodge. Tee up for 18 holes. Then enjoy a signature meal. Plan your trip at parks.ky.gov.
He shoots, and he scores!
My wife got old, so it's time to put her in a home.
It's the home I've always dreamed about.
I've been waiting to get old for years, and that means I can get my UX people started on that app I need to develop.
I'm getting old right now. With an expert to explain the differences between bond prices and bond yields.
Introducing Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter.
You're never too old to get old.
She's old.
Old National Bank. Get old.
Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
There you see C.J. Evans, Draylon Ellis, a little dance. They're excited. Team's up 10 now, thanks to the 31-yard touchdown pass from Ellis to Jalal Dean. And Jalal Dean, one of the players that offensive coordinator Travis Partridge was really excited about this week. A guy he said's really come into his own as a silent leader. Not a guy that's going and banging on Ellis's door saying, give me the ball, I need the ball. But just doing it through great play, and the quarterback's going to find him, and he did there for a 31-yard touchdown.
He's just consistent. I mean, he's averaging 12 yards per catch, and we have a receiver that is making explosive plays downfield. I mean, if you look at the first game that they played in the stadium, I mean, he catches a 56-yard touchdown, and he takes the distance. So when you have a wide receiver that makes explosive plays and a guy that's in the right position at all time, it just makes your quarterback better. Just looking at the last touchdown that he caught, I watched the route. I mean, it's a beautiful route. It's called a shake route, a little stutter and go, chops his feet, creates separation, and now your quarterback puts it in the place where only the receiver can catch it. Great job by Ellis and Dean.
Tigers coming off their second straight come from behind victory. Here's Holly, able to find his receiver. Going to the tight end, Ginever, out of Montana.
It's a nice simple throw.
Band director, the band cannot play while the ball is live. This team is on the ball. Please cease playing when the offense is on the ball. Thank you.
So the band getting a little trouble.
Yeah,
the aristocratic band, they're saying, nah, we got to stop this. And they're saying, no, we like the beat. We're feeling it.
It's homecoming. You got to make it do what it do. So, hey, great job.
I don't know if Coach Wilkerson would say that.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
There you see the pass yards. Big edge there to EIU. Rush yards. Big edge to TSU. And that has given us a 10-point lead for the Tigers here on homecoming. And here, in some trouble is Holly, and he's going to be wrapped up and brought down. Sack there for Keandre Booker.
Man, Booker's all over the place. I just love what he's doing, and just watch what he does. He just kind of sets the edge and just gets at the quarterback. And if you have a situation to where you get at the quarterback and you can't step up and make the play, he's not going to be able to go through his read progression because you have 4 or 5 guys to the football.
Booker now with 4.5 sacks this season. So doing his parts on this defense.
Sure is.
Brings up a 3rd down and 15 for EIU. Here's Holly. Under some pressure, he's going to launch it deep and just overthrowing. He had a beat, was looking to thread the needle there and almost was able to, just overthrew C.J. Nelson by just a hair.
Yeah, he did. And the reason why he overthrew him because he couldn't really set his feet. You had so much pressure coming from the edge. You had the defense in front getting after the quarterback. And when you have a situation to where you can't, set your feet and throw the football, that's exactly what we saw by overthrowing ball.
There you see the frustration from C.J. Nelson. So it's a 4th and 15. That's going to bring on the punting units again for EIU. So we backed up, fielded about the 30. Evans going to take off to the 40, still on his feet, looking for midfield. Can't quite get there before the Panthers bring him down.
Don't you just love what he brings to this team? I mean, he does it at running back, he does it at kickoff return, he does it at punt return. I mean, he's giving your team great field position every time he touches the football. He's electrifying. He makes the plays, and he just makes a simple play into big dividends.
And that's why he's become such a star on this team and has separated himself some from the other running backs because he has that home run ability. He has that big playmaking ability and that spurt and the leadership. And you add all of that together, and that's what you get as you see Eddie George this week was singing the praises of Evans, the fifth-year senior transfer from Austin Peay, coming off the knee injury. Last couple drives, the last drive was an 89-yarder that resulted in a touchdown, 31 yards to Jalal Dean. See what Draylon Ellis and crew have up their sleeve this time. Ellis looking to pass, going to keep it, still looking deep as he's going to fire out and find Karate Brinson down to the 5-yard line, staying on his feet, and he's going to be taken out at about the 3-yard line. Another big pickup, big chunk of yardage for the offense.
Man, just a great job by Ellis. Watch what he does is he looks at his first read, it's not there. He looks, now watch him step up in the pocket and make a play. He looks downfield, keeps his eyes down, throws the body to Karate Brinson. It just shows you that if you trust the coaching in what he does, you're going to make some big plays.
Here's Ellis in some trouble, and he's not going to escape this time. Brought down at about the 10-yard line. That was Kalen Drakeford in on the stop.
Yeah, I want to go back to Ellis. I mean, just kind of watching what he's doing. I mean, we talked about, last year how, sometimes he just kind of wants to run the football. But if you look at what he did on the play before that, when we had the long pass to Karate Brinson, he's consistently keeping his eyes downfield. And when you keep your eyes downfield, you locate your receiver even if he's not in that vicinity. Just a great job by what he's doing. You understand when you get the good coaching and you apply it to the game, you can do something special, and that's what we're seeing with Ellis.
2nd down and 10. From the 10, as here is going to be McGill, not much going.
Yeah, nothing there. I mean, I still love what McGill brings to this team. He brings the toughness. It took 5 or 6 guys to take him down. So, keep this clock going. Even if you get 3 points, it's still a win because now you go from 27-17 to 30-17. Now you put the pressure on the Panthers.
So it'll be a 3rd down and 8, less than a minute to roll with here in the 3rd quarter. As Ellis there was sending Bullock in motion, but
timeout. Eastern Illinois, their first charge of the half, 30 seconds in length.
So the Panthers wanting to call a timeout here to discuss it. Down 10, 38 seconds to play in the 3rd. What do you think Panthers head coach Chris Wilkerson's talking about here?
I think they had the wrong personnel in there.
Okay.
I think that's what that is because why would you call a timeout? So, if I'm
personnel based on what they saw the Tigers come out with,
absolutely.
The package that they saw TSU come out with, they're like,
Yeah, they're in trouble because they probably would have been in the base defense and they probably in the offense, probably in the spread. You're in trouble if you do that. So he saw something that he didn't like. So you got to call timeout because if they get 7, it's a whole different ballgame as opposed to 3. So he saw something what the offense was bringing and he had to get the right personnel. And that's exactly what we just saw. Yeah.
And you can see Coach Wilkerson looking a little frustrated.
Yeah.
So as you said, momentum changes and swerves in this game, especially in the second half that we have seen. And the Tigers looking to take it to the Panthers even more here. 3rd and goal from the 8. Ellis back, has some time, throwing it toward the end zone, and that is going to be Bullock.
Wow.
able to haul it in from 8 yards out. Bullock with his first touchdown of the season.
Man, just a great job. Again, we talk about Ellis just putting the ball in a position with only quarterback to make it. Then you have Booker, who just makes a big-time catch. And the reason why I love that he makes his big-time catch, he catches the ball at the highest point, he tiptoes, touchdown, Tigers. Great play by Ellis, great catch by Booker. Just overall, 2 great plays.
So now TSU has the 33-17 lead. Lowry's getting a workout with that leg.
He is.
As he looks to add to it. Fifth-year senior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Able to put it through the uprights. Chalking up another point. Chalking up another touchdown for TSU. And the Tigers have the 34-17 lead here over the Panthers. You can see Gerard Bullock being celebrated. Transfer from Austin Peay. Senior, local guy from right here in Nashville. And that's something else that's interesting is TSU has a good number of players from local.
Yeah, they do. I mean, we're just looking at the play with Ellis. Look at where he throws the ball where only a receiver can catch. And as a receiver, you catch it at the highest point and you tiptoe. I mean, just looking at overall, I mean, there's some, I know the play of Ellis is outstanding, but I love what the receivers are doing. You got Karate Brinson, you got Brian Williams, you got Jamal Dean. These guys are making plays all over the field. And it just shows you that if they keep doing this with their running game, with McGill and all those other slew of running backs, and then on top of that, you got some great wide receivers, this offense can be dangerous, you know, when it comes down to crunch time.
I mean, they're proving they can be dangerous here this evening. And there you see some of the TSU fans liking it. They're liking what they're seeing. They're feeling it.
I can see the aristocratic fans.
I think the viewers and listeners can do without that.
Oh, my God.
No offense.
No, I don't have no vocal. That's why I'm up here.
As Willman there.
I love the crowd here. Big crowd here today.
Yes.
You know, I know it's homecoming, but it just shows you the support of this, you know, TSU Tigers. And, you know, I just love what, you know, Mickey's doing, the athletic director for, you know, TSU Tigers. I mean, I just love what they're doing. I love what, you know, Nick Guerrero's doing. Everybody's committed to bringing, you know, success to this program. Eddie George, you got Brandon Fisher. They're doing a great job by bringing the success to these Tigers.
You have Travis Partridge bringing in a new look offense.
Absolutely.
That, you know, maybe it's taken a few games to get everything clicking, but last few games, maybe starting to find a bit of a rhythm. We'll have to see how that goes. Whistle dead.
I didn't mean to scream. I get excited
about this
thing. I got to. You know, I mean, you always want to finish a play, and I think it happened, you know, a couple of weeks ago when I'm not talking about pros, but the Tennessee Titans were playing against the Miami Dolphins. Everybody stopped on the play, but then you had the defense pick it up. They ruled it. It was a backwards pass. There's a momentum shift because of that. Mm-hmm. What if you get the ball back and finish the play, score a touchdown? Now the game is out of reach, so you always want to finish the play.
Youngsters need to remember that. They need to hear that. They need to execute that. Here's Holly. There's Rogers hauling it in. Rogers ripped off a 60-couple-yard catch in the first half to set up a big score for EIU. So he's got some speed burst. The redshirt freshman from Illinois.
You know, and I love what Brandon Fisher's doing. Is I know we're going to the fourth quarter, we got to go, but you know he's keeping everything in front of me. He's going to cover 3 and let those guys take the short stuff and come up making tackles.
That's
great
the
job
end
of defense.
of the third quarter.
Tigers having a good time. They're dancing. They're having fun. It's homecoming. TSU has the lead over EIU. 34-17. Final stanza coming your way next. Back here in Nashville, there's Brandon Fisher. He's trying to hide from the camera. He's wearing the red. He's the defensive coordinator. As here you can see the flag as Holly will have this one picked off.
It's offsides.
That was Villiers again as the officials will discuss matters.
Number 0, 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
That could have been a backbreaker. I mean, that's why you saw the quarterback just kind of throw it up and try to make a play because he knew it was offsides on the defense. So, he's very unhappy. I mean, he's mad right now. He's mad
That's
at
Brandon
you.
Fisher.
Brandon Fisher's mad at me, you, him, them, everybody.
Yes.
Because he's a perfectionist. You don't have a situation like that. This is where you can put a team away by having an interception and a turnover like that.
Tyler Moore whistled for that. He's a true freshman. He's been getting a lot of quality time, and Fish said he's one of the guys he talked a lot about. I'll get into that here in a second.
Here's
as
the pick.
again,
Oh, he dropped it.
almost picked off. Almost. Lucky was Holly on that one.
Oh, those are the plays you got to make. I mean, that's why it's probably was a DB. And here's what I love. He's watching the quarterback eyes. He throws it, and he's got to pick that ball off. That's why it's a defensive back that he hit him in the wrong spot. But great play, great execution. You just got to come in with those turnovers.
Tyler Jones almost had that.
Ooh.
So it'll be a 2nd down and 10 for EIU. Working from their own 35-yard line. Here's Holly having to dance. He's having to take it himself to the 40. And he'll be brought down at the 40 couple. Yeah, talking about Tyler Moore, true freshman. You have Sanders Ellis, a true freshman. And Brandon was saying that you tip your cap to those guys with as well as they've played, especially Sanders Ellis and the leadership component that he's brought. But in this day and age, it says a lot about the culture that TSU is building, that you can come in here and you can play as a true freshman if you're good enough and if you work hard enough. And you know what? Today, homecoming, they have a lot of recruits here.
They do. I mean, especially with the atmosphere here, the homecoming and everything that's going on, and just watching the level of play that the Tigers are playing. They're playing at a high level. Watch them on defense. They're flying around. Watch them on offense. They're running the ball. And they're doing everything that you want to see in the Tigers team.
But that's one of the things that Fish wanted to point out was that you have true freshmen that can come in and play. So when you're looking at some of the recruits that may be here, they can go, wow, okay, okay, I got a shot next year. I could, if I work my off, I could get a chance to get in there.
And the thing about it is when I came in as a freshman, I was underdeveloped, but now you're having guys that are bigger, faster, and stronger that can compete as a freshman, so you can come in and play as a freshman.
Here's Holly.
Ooh.
And once again, looking to his tight end, Genever, who coming into this evening didn't have a catch, but they've gone to him a number of times.
Here's what I love about this. It's just watching the form tackle. The tight end kicks the foot, boom. That's what you want to see in your safety. I mean, we have a situation like that where they're physical, they're fast, they read their keys. It's always put you in position to make the play, and that's what I love about the defense.
Tyler Jones was in there on the tackle, as it'll bring up a 2nd down and 8, so obviously a pickup of 2. And again, this time, going to go back to Rogers with some yak.
Yeah, I mean, Rogers been making plays all over here. I mean, the first, second, and third quarter, he's been doing well. But when you have a situation where you try to jump around and the defensive back try to jump the route, he catches the football, he spins, and that's exactly what you want for your wide receiver. This is what it is. The receiver, Rogers, catches the football, he spins, yards after catch, and that's what you love as a wide receiver. Great play, great throw, great execution.
Rogers, 4 catches, 77 yards this evening, so it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 34. Holly
pick it off.
is picked off. And that is going to be Trotter to the 40, still on his feet, across midfield, and he's brought down to about the 30-yard line. Boogie Trotter hauling that in. That is his 3rd interception of the season.
Man, just a great job by Boogie Trotter. And the one thing I love about him is he just undercuts the receiver. You got the quarterback just trying to throw it to a receiver that wasn't open. So watch Boogie Trotter undercut the receiver underneath. Bam. That's what you want as a cornerback. He read the quarterback eyes. He threw it to a spot to where he thought it was going to be, but Boogie Trotter undercut it, and that's why you have an interception.
And you saw that. You knew that was
that was
you
done.
knew that was going to happen.
Oh, it was done. Right when the ball left his hands, he was already in his break. That's what you want as in a cornerback, and that's by studying the film, by reading. And you can see the disgust, on Holly's face, because he understood that when the ball left his hands, he knew that was an interception.
34-17, Tigers lead the Panthers. TSU looking to add on. Here's Ellis. He's going deep, looking for the home run, and coming up just a bit short, as he was looking for Jalal Dean again. Dean already with a 31-yard touchdown catch. There you take a look at what Draylen's been able to do. DJ, we call him, 78 passing yards in the first half, but how about this third quarter? 137. Of course, some of that's field position, but career high 4 touchdown passes. Looking for more.
Yeah, hey, they're going for it. They're being aggressive.
Dumps it off here to Karate Brinson to the 30. Karate on his feet down to the 25-yard line before he's brought down.
You know what I love about Karate Brinson is we understand that he's a receiver, but when he catches the football, he turns into a running back. I'm not saying he's at this type of level, but he reminds me of Deebo Samuels. Deebo Samuels is the guy who catches the football, but automatically he turns into a running back. And when you have a big specimen guy like that in Karate Brinson, it just makes your job easier. You throw the ball, let him run, and let him make those big plays.
Karate 6'2", 215.
Big man.
Junior from St. Louis. There's Ellis, free play. So he's going to go up top, knocked away. Thought I saw a flag.
Yeah, it is a flag. It's on the field. They jumped. You know what I love about what's going on right now? They're being aggressive. Mm-hmm. They're not just holding on to the lead. They're being aggressive.
Offside. Defense. Number 6 and number 3. 5-yard penalty. Results in the first down.
So 2 guys offsides for the Panthers, and that means a fresh set for the Tigers. So it'll be a 1st and 10 from the EIU 20.
Just kind of looking at Draylen Ellis, just look how comfortable he looks. He's taking ownership of his offense. He's getting everybody in position. He's making the right reads, and he's just taking what the defense is giving him.
Here's the handoff. That's going to go for a couple of yards. Gant is the running back in there right now. Mixed look, has the power and the finesse.
Yeah, just watching him run the inside zone, he makes one cut and go. And, we always talk about a running back just going north and south, and that's exactly what we saw when he ran running the inside zone. And then also, you're standing in front of the chains. And, when you get to the second level, those corners and those safeties do not want to tackle you, especially when you're down by this many points.
Here's Gant again, trying to push forward for a couple. And Gant is a guy a real smart guy.
Yes.
You add another coach out there when he's on the field, is what the staff tells me. And a guy that, not that he's accepted the role, but he hasn't created issues because maybe he's not the RB1.
Yeah, but you talked about earlier in the game about the culture. And this is the culture that you're building. You're building guys that are unselfish, that know their role. You got a slew of running backs. You got Gant. You got Rouse that we haven't seen. We got McGill. We got Evans. So you have a slew of running backs, but he knows his role. But here's the deal. When his number's called, he's always impacted to make plays.
Mm-hmm. So 3rd and 2. Dean put in motion. Evans will take the handoff. Actually, no, he won't. That will instead be Tevin Carter. Taking it himself and scampering in for the score. Carter had a couple of scores last week. Add another one to it this week. Tack on another touchdown for the Tigers.
Man, just a great job. Just a great read by Tevin Carter. He's 6'3", 230, big-time quarterback. He sees the defensive end crash. He just runs, and that's all sure. When you have a guy with that type of speed, with that type of physicality, he just makes it easy for you to get in the end zone. Great call, great read, great score by Carter.
Carter from Memphis as the extra point is up, and it is good. So it is TSU now controlling this one, 41-17 over EIU, just north of 9.5 to play on homecoming in the Music City.
Shoots, and he scores!
1-1.
It's the excitement of the crowd, the crack of a bat, the sound of your own heartbeat, the roar of the engines. The spirit of competition runs deep here, from the dirt track to the cheap seats. Whether you're screaming from the stands or taking your place in the limelight, Southern Illinois is your ticket to all the action. In sports venues and recreational facilities for whatever your obsession is. Come to cheer, come to challenge yourself, but discover so much more when you visit SI.
Back here in Nashville, 41-17, TSU has the lead on Eastern Illinois as TSU is looking for their third straight win, picking up dubs at home against Charleston Southern last week at Lindenwood. Not necessarily the prettiest of games, but nonetheless a win. And also overall looking for their fifth win of the season. Still work to do, still just over 9.5 to play in the game.
You know, we talked about it earlier, and I know I don't want to sound like a broken whistle, but the culture's changed, and that's exactly what, Coach George and his staff wanted to do. They wanted to change the culture because you had a lot of guys that made it about them. Now it's about we, and that's what you're seeing on this team, and everybody knows the role from running back to everything.
41-17, TSU has the lead on Eastern Illinois with 9:38 to work with. Back with more after this. Back here in Nashville, 41-17, TSU has the lead on EIU. Interestingly enough, you take a look at Eastern Illinois, and they didn't leave the state of Illinois during their first 6 games. This is the first time they've left the state.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, first time they left the state this year. They're at Illinois, home against Indiana State, at Northwestern, of course, just outside Chicago, at Illinois State, home against Lindenwood, home against SEMO, and here we are.
That's a good schedule.
Yeah. So first time this year that EIU has left Illinois. Now the Panthers having to dig themselves out of a hole and not much going there. There we'll take a look at the upcoming game schedules presented by Sunbelt Bakery, the tastiest flavors under the sun. So we're just talking about EIU, and there you see what's coming up. So they're going to UT Martin, so right back here in Tennessee on the 26th. They do have next week off. And then they're home against Western Illinois and at Gardner-Webb. And, you know, they could use this bye week coming up.
Absolutely.
Because they're kind of banged up if you're just joining us, especially on the wide receiving core. As that there was hauled in by Ginevra.
He's been having a pretty good day today. I mean, you know, coming in the game, he didn't have that many catches. He's keeping this team in.
So here's Holly, who coming into this evening really did a good job spreading the wealth. 4 receivers with 20-plus receptions. Good job of checking off, but the TSU defense has been locked in, and as we mentioned, his receiving core a little thin here this evening. As here, he goes again, finds Willman across the middle, trying to look toward midfield, and caught just before the 50-yard line.
Man, he's a good-looking receiver. I mean, I love the way he runs his routes and yards out of the catch. And you know, every time he's running around, he's creating separation. Just watch what he does. I mean, he just runs like a little slant route, little squirrel route, catches the football and gets north and south. And that's exactly what you want against your receiver. And I mean, even though they're down by a lot of points, there's a bright spot of the offense with Willman.
Her TSU guy.
He's got the perfect face mask and everything. He just gets so zoned in. Love it.
So the injured player for TSU coming off the field is Dion Villiers. He's been active this evening, the redshirt sophomore, so we hope he's okay. So it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line, from their own 46 for the Panthers. Looking to pounce. They're going to need to move things along because they're down pretty big, and that's exactly what Holly's trying to do, and going right back to Willman.
Man, he's just making plays. I mean, he's just consistently get open. Just watch what he does. He kind of lulled the defensive back asleep. He acted like he was slowing down, and then he sped up, and that's what you want as a receiver. All the being receivers just play act, and that's exactly what we saw. We have, Holly throwing it to him and just create separation to make a play. He's consistently getting open. He's consistently creating space to make those type of catches.
Holly stepping up, not much to work with, finding Flowers, haven't called his name for a while. Out past the 30, near the 25-yard line before he's brought down.
And I just love what Holly does. Is the one thing that he does well is he extends the play. When I say extends the play, even when nothing is there, he's consistently trying to find something or somebody to get open, and we just saw that with Flowers. Even though, the defense was all on him, he figured out a way to make the play. Great job by Holly and great job by Flowers.
Holly again, this time going back to his tight ends. So again to Ginevra.
Yep, we just caught a little button hook. He just runs there and just sit right. He just run and just sit, just easy throw to him, catch his spin and just make some plays. Just trying to figure out a way to get some momentum in this game.
Ginevra with 7 catches in this game. Looks like another Tiger is down. There you see Pierce Holly and what he's brought this evening. 26 of 43 to 25 yards, a touchdown, an interception. So he's been slinging it a lot.
Yes, he has.
We're going to take a timeout. 41-17. Tigers lead the Panthers. 6:41 to play in the 4th. TSU looking for their 3rd straight win. Tigers roaring here at home on homecoming. 41-17 have the lead over Eastern Illinois with 6:41 to play in the contest. Offense and defense both have been clicking for TSU as Pierce Holly, quarterback for EIU, going back to work. 300-plus yards. A couple straight weeks for Holly. Has some time. Looks to his left, and there again he's going to find Rogers, who's going to haul it in and get inside the 10-yard line.
Man, just a great job by extending the play. You got, Holly just kind of keeping eyes downfield to Rogers. Even though it's 41-17, there's still a fight in this team, and that's exactly what you want against that. Want him out there. Excuse me.
So it's a 2nd down and 2. Gain of 8 yards. Flowers in the backfield along with Holly. Graduate player taking a little time. Now he's ready to go. Throwing it up top. Looking toward Willman. And they're going to say, nope.
Oh, just ran out of real estate. That's why he's smiling, because he knew he had him. And the thing about it is, when you're a wide receiver, when you're down in the red zone, just watch his feet. He catches the football, but as a wide receiver, you got to get 1 foot in, and he's out right there, the right toe. So, great call by the officials.
Officials were right there on the call. You can see Willman probably asking for the ball again. Probably saying, come back to me. I'll do better this time. So here's Holly. Now the handoff's going to go to Flowers off the tackle. And a gain down to about the 5-yard line.
Man, just a great job by Flowers. Even though, they're down 41-17, he's still trying to, run through people's face, and that's what you want as with your running back.
So a 1st and goal from the 5. Now Holly is going to sling it toward the end zone. Trying to thread the needle there to Willman. But
there was just
unable to connect.
There was just nothing there. You got Willman trying to run a slant. And when you're running a slant, you got to create separation because it's so tight in the red zone. You got to get the guy off the spot and make sure there's a window there for you to throw it. And there was absolutely no window. And that's a great job by the secondary.
Holly's figured out what he wants to do here. 5:23 to play here in the 4th. Second try at the end zone. Holly unleashing and almost throwing that to Boogie Trotter.
Oh, man.
Not intending to, but almost did.
He almost did. And here's what I love about Boogie Trotter is he's reading the quarterback's eyes. That's why he's getting these picks, and that's why he's been one of the best defensive players on his team. And just watch what he does. He just reads the quarterback's eyes and just breaks on the football, and that's what you want at your quarterback. When a quarterback is staring at a place, that's where he's going, and Boogie Trotter was there to pick it off, to almost pick it off.
So now it's a 3rd down and goal from the 5. Holly has a couple receivers to each side. Rogers goes in motion. Holly looks to dump it off to Flowers, and nothing going there for Flowers. Again, the TSU Tiger defense stepping up.
Man, it's a great job. We talk about Flowers, that when he gets the ball, he's electric when he gets the football. When you have 2 and 3 guys making the tackle, just watch how many guys are to the football. He throws a little swing pass to Flowers. Bam, you got 2 guys there to stop him from getting in the end zone. So that's what you want in your defense.
So the 3rd time wasn't the charm for the Panthers. They're going to go for it again here. Tried it one other time in the game, not successful. So they'll go for it here. 4:45 to play in the contest. Down big, you have to.
Just kind of looking at the Panthers, they're 34% on 4th down. So I think the odds are in Tigers' presence.
Here's Holly. He again is looking toward the end zone. Incomplete. So he's looking back toward Quentin Rogers, but unable to connect.
Yeah, there's just nothing there.
So Roar City's stepping up. Now the offense comes out and has their backs up against the wall as far as field position goes.
Yeah, this is what you want to do. You got 4:28 left in the game. You just want to absolutely run the time.
Let's take a look at TSU's upcoming schedule. Next week will be at Howard. TSU will I'll have the radio call along with voice of TSU, Greg Pogue. That'll be next Saturday up there in Washington, D.C., Green Stadium, 3:30 Eastern kick, 2:30 Central. Then back here at home against UT Martin, November 2nd. That's huge. And then taking the road at Western Illinois. So the bye week after the Howard contest. Here's Carter. He's got a little bit of time and finds his receiver out across the 15-yard line.
And this is what I love about Coach Partridge. I mean, they're up 41-17, but he is putting the gas on the pedal to say, you know what, regardless of where we're at, we're still going to make some plays.
Roshan Lacey, Jr. from Orange, California, hauling that one in. Fresh set for TSU, giving him a little bit of breathing room. Here's Jalen Rouse, who's checked into the contest, looked at as the steady Eddie running back.
What do you think why he's not playing that much? I mean, I know you got a lot of great running backs. What do you think the issue is?
Just everybody's trying to find their piece to the puzzle. Yeah. And there, not much going as the handoff goes to Rouse. And there you see Tevin Carter, 6'3", 200 pounds, the junior from Memphis, transferring from Missouri. Mentioned last week, had a couple rushing scores, had the rushing score a couple moments ago. Talking with Coach Partridge, he looked at me, smiled. He said, yeah, we've seen mostly rushing. He said, there's some passing in there, some plays in the back pocket. He said, I haven't really gotten them out yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, but he's getting a lot of experience. I mean, as a quarterback, you want to get some experience, and he's getting a lot of experience in his games.
So loss of one there on the play. The handoff goes again out toward the 20-yard line. It'll be shy of it. Craig Cunningham carried at that time, the redshirt sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee, only his third carry of the season. So TSU and the coaching staff getting in some of the players that maybe haven't had a lot of game experience, trying to get them some game experience here in a game with 2.5 to play that seemingly is in check.
Yeah, I mean, you want to get some experience because the thing about it is your time is going to come and you want to get a little bit of experience. It's not that you're trying to rub it in the other team's face. You just want to get those guys that have a chance to play later on down the road and get some game time experience.
Yeah, hopefully it's down the road and not necessarily needed immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. But I just love what I'm seeing with the Tigers. I mean, everything from defense, everything from special teams.
This is.
So, great job by what they're doing.
So 2 minutes to roll with here in Nashville. TSU looking for the dub, up 41-17 on EIU.
CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
He shoots, and he scores!
If you want to make the most of your vacation, there's no better place than the Bluegrass State. Kentucky's 44 state parks offer abundant places to play and diverse accommodations to stay. Take a hike, float your boat, or bike the trails. Pitch a tent under the stars or settle into a lakefront lodge. Tee up for 18 holes. Then enjoy a signature meal. Plan your trip at parks.ky.gov.
Aristocrat bands dancing, making the tunes felt, feeling it. Tigers have been feeling it. Roar City has been alive and, well, roaring here all week.
Absolutely.
Homecoming week, Tennessee State, 41-17 lead on EIU. 2 minutes to play in the game. As the punt, take it back to the 40-yard line. And that'll be a late hit.
It was 15 seconds after the play. You got to be smart.
So it looks like the backup quarterback for EIU will also be coming in. Blaney Dowling, redshirt freshman from Chicago, Illinois, went to Mount Carmel on the season. Limited experience, 2 of 3 for 15 yards. So here, the 6'2 freshman getting a little experience with a $150 to play. His team with the ball on their own 46-yard line, looking to push it down the field. As here, the handoff goes for a gain of 3 or so. That was Jay Pearson, redshirt sophomore from McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania. His 18th carry of the season.
This is where at time you want to just keep from somebody getting hurt and just kind of I know you want to throw the football on both sides and just get out of here. And it's 41-17. Make sure everybody gets out of here okay.
Here's Dowling as he fires over and finds his receiver. So that was to number 5, able to haul that in. Shiraz Buncombe from Chula Vista, California. Transfer from Kansas. Of course, Chula Vista, just outside America's most beautiful city, San Diego.
Nice. And I like this little quarterback, Dowling. I mean, he's 6'2", 200. I mean, he throws a pretty good ball. I mean, he looks comfortable in the pocket. And, he's not looking too bad, but getting a lot of experience.
As you approach the minute mark, when you look at this game, talk with Coach Partridge of TSU earlier this week. He said they needed to limit the negative plays on offense, which they did.
Yes.
They needed more explosive plays on offense, which they got. As here, it's going to be a pickup down to about the 35-yard line or so.
And it's balanced, though. Even though you talk about the explosive play is not always a 67-yard touchdown. It's about a 30-yard gain. And we saw some plays like that. We saw some runs like that. We saw some catches like that. So it's a balanced explosive play. So great job by this offense and Coach Partridge.
Here's Dowling. Thought about going one way. Not much there. Tried to shuttle it to a friendly.
I don't know what that was. That looked like Will Levis. I'm kidding.
I don't know. Maybe Dowling has a nice mayonnaise. Maybe has a nice. That's Levis's deal. He's got a nice cologne. I don't know who would necessarily want to go rolling around town with a mayonnaise option as a cologne, but apparently Will Levis does, and it's sold out.
Did it?
I wanted to buy a bottle. I was just like, what is this? I was going to buy a bottle, and it's sold out. Maybe it's because people like us are talking about it.
Absolutely.
Dowling hands it off down to about the 30-yard line. But for TSU, continuing to play well, they had a couple culture wins where they had to battle back. This game, they had some adversity, were able to battle through it, and that's really been the theme of their season, but were able to erupt and, have the 41-17 lead as Dowling still looking to fire but going incomplete there. But TSU seemingly clicking on also.
Yeah, they are. And if you look at last year, and I don't want to keep, laboring about last year, is they would lose close games and they didn't find a way to win. If you look at this year, the last couple of games, they were finding ways to win. And that's the difference between a team that's immature and a team that's mature, because now they're finding ways to win, and it's always a different guy. It could be Ellis, it could be Brinson, it could be Dean. This guy stepping up and making plays. Even on defense, you got Eric George, you got Bill, and all those guys.
They didn't necessarily start quickly.
Right.
Which is what one of the other keys that the coordinators and Eddie George talked to me about this week. They didn't necessarily start quickly, but they didn't also necessarily start badly, because there were goose eggs for much of the early part of the contest. So that may be something that they want to work on, is coming out and punching the opponent.
Yeah, and I want to take my hat off to this coaching staff. I mean, you got Eddie George, the head coach. You got the offensive coordinator, Travis, Partridge. You got the linebacker coach, Joe Bowden. What they did is they made adjustments. That's the key to this whole game. Even though, they started off slow, you look at the quarterbacks talking to their coach. You look at the linebacker coach talking to their coach, and they're making adjustments. That's what's making this team different. They're listening to the coaches, and they're making adjustments, and they're applying it and getting better.
Here's Dowling dancing around. He's going to find his receiver down inside the 20-yard line. Looks like that was Jordan Spaka. Three of the top receivers for EIU were out this game, so obviously that put them behind the proverbial 8-ball to begin the contest. As here, Dowling with 3 seconds looks up top and throws that one high. And that is how this one is going to end. TSU in the win column here this evening on homecoming, doing it in emphatic fashion, starting off a little slow, then getting it going, putting an exclamation point on this one. 41-17 over EIU.
Man, they did just a great job overall. Great job on defense, great job on offense, and now they're on a 3-game winning streak. And just love the focus on offense, defense, and special team. It's a collective win with collective coaches that have a vision to do great things.
All in conference, as the graphic there on your screen shows, against Charleston Southern, Lindenwood, and now against Eastern Illinois. TSU improving to 5-2 overall, 2-1, or I should say 3-1 in conference. Eastern Illinois falling to 1-6, 0-3 in conference play. Final thoughts on the Tigers?
Man, just a great job overall. The offense started off slow, but they came back and made adjustments. Then defense, they're flying around. But the one guy that I really love is Evans. And when something goes wrong, Evans consistently sparks his team to get a play. So great job overall, defense, special teams, and offense.
How about for the Panthers?
Oh, man, the Panthers, I know there's stuff. They're 1-6. I know they got a situation with receivers out, but they still had fight in them. They'll come back and try to get a win next week.
So for TSU, they get a break from Big South OVC play as they will take to the road against Howard next week up in Washington, D.C. And for EIU, they get a breather as well. They have the bye week next week. And then
won.
Both squads will be back into conference play. For Chris Sanders, I'm Dan Lang saying so long from Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. Again, the final score this evening, 41-17. TSU, the Tigers, over the EIU Panthers. All games airing on the ESPN networks or streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Have a great weekend, everybody.